Welcome, everybody, to the Softlock Podcast. This is episode 43, the Games of the Year 2025, or 2025 Gaming Recap. I'm one of your hosts, Jake. That's Jonathan, and we got a packed show today talking about all the best games from 2025. Are you ready, Jonathan?
Yes, we have games.
We always have games, but in this one, we have games. Capital G gamers right here.
I wish there is a list, but there's a Wikipedia page called 2025 Gaming, and it's really long, and I thought it would just release, like, here's the thing. I thought it would be like, here's, like, every major game that released each month, and that's pretty much what it does, but it also has several other categories for, like, major awards, like major events, like deaths in gaming, notable deaths in gaming, which I was like, whoa, what? Wait, notable deaths. David Lynch in the 2025 in video games Wikipedia page, apparently, whose work influenced numerous games, including Alan Wake, Silent Hill, Disco Elysium, and of course, the most Lynchian of all, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. That is really what it says. So, but when you scroll down further, that's when you get all like the big releases of each month. But they're still missing like basically any indie game that didn't make a more $1 billion essentially. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, not to say that 2025 was a bad year for indies, but I wasn't drawn to most of the notable ones, and I didn't really see any groundswell for a lot of like the more underground ones, so it was sort of like an off year for me in indies. But I know that there were a lot of like big ones that released, like Silksong, and then of course if you count Expedition 33, stuff like that, and then a lot of smaller ones that got cult followings, but it just wasn't my year, I think. There's
not enough of when I think indie, I'm drawn to that, to like the real indie experience, like not to disparage independent developers that have like money and crews and stuff, but like my favorite independent games, just by happenstance, not because I seek them out, are usually made by like one dude with like no money. It's just like, yeah, I was just making this game for a really long time and I released it and I made it like $1 million just by like pure dumb luck. And you just see something like Balatro. So like one guy was just like, yeah, I was just kind of fucking around, and then I released it, and then here we go. And now I'll never update it. You're one for one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also really enjoy those. I have a feeling we'll talk about a few today, but I'm looking at a couple for next year, so maybe we'll have to do another indie game episode sometime in 2026. I guess it's not next year now, it's this year.
Huge.
It's fucking me up. Last year ended so quickly, so much happened. We actually haven't recorded a video or a podcast since Thanksgiving, because we did do the live stream for the Game Awards. So this is our first time talking to the people in over a month if they didn't tune into that, which it is available as a VOD. But I got engaged since the last time we recorded. That's exciting. We are going into my tax season, so that's not exciting.
I'm glad I got engaged. And then also tax season.
I'm just saying, there are a lot of big things happening, and it feels like, at least to me, that my life is like completely off the rails and that big things just keep happening over and over again. So I haven't been able to keep track of anything. And my point in all this is that 2025 felt like it took about 3 days. So the fact that we're already recording another end of year podcast is kind of like existential for me. It's not making me feel warm and fuzzy.
That's funny, because I feel like 2025 has been 4 years. I feel like I have been in this year for the longest amount of time than anyone else on the planet. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I moved into my last place like last year, like in January. And then I moved to my new place in November. I felt like I was at my last place for like 2 years. Wasn't.
It did feel like a long time.
It felt like a very long time. And now I've been in this place for about maybe less than 2 months. I feel like I've been here for probably 12 months. It's all wrong. But you know what? I fuck with it. I would like my time to be elongated.
Why he elongated.
Why elongated.
Okay, that's funny that you say that felt so long for you, because to me, obviously I'm not, there with you, but I remember when you were saying you were moving into your new place, that feels like it happened like a week ago for me.
Yep. I feel like I've been here for 8 million years. We settled in so fast.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah. But also, I don't care about any of this. I'd like to talk about it. I raise my hand up and slam it down very brutally onto the table, and my hand slams into my glass made of glass, and now the glass in my hand and I'm bleeding like Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained. I want to talk about video games. That's what.
Damn.
Yeah.
This man's all business today. He's got something to do. I feel.
We're gonna be talking about. We can shoot the shit when we're 50. We have a job today. This episode's already gonna be 8 million years.
Fair. For me, it'll feel like 10 seconds though.
True.
Okay. So, same format as last year. We're gonna give out some awards. We're gonna do top 5 games from this year, and then top 5 games from the backlog that we played this year. So nothing's really changed there. Got some new categories. We kind of trimmed it down, made it less strange. And if you're ready to get into it, Jonathan, I guess I'm all for that. I can't put the glass back on the table. It's already in your hands. So.
Already in my hand. However, you know what I think you should do? I think you, because you brought up, you did get engaged, and I think you should, from now on, you should have a shift in how you act. You should always wear shirts that say, like, those like girlfriend shirts. You're like, don't flirt with him.
My beautiful
wife,
fiance.
My beautiful fiance will kill you. You should wear those shirts.
It's funny you mention it. I do actually feel like more of an adult. And
really?
Maybe that's just because I felt like a child before. But either way, it's kind of working.
He's to be wed. Everyone put wedding emojis in the comment section. If you're on iOS. If you're on Android, don't bother.
Again, Jonathan, you're next. So you better get on that.
Ooh, I can't wait for my dreamy man to propose to me.
Yeah, what's your ring size, by the way?
I don't know. How does it go? Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't even have any idea how that works.
Well, thank you for the well wishes, Jonathan. I appreciate it. And everyone in the comments. But
right,
like you said, job to do, blah, 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 all that. Let us begin this marathon podcast starting right now.
Right now. You
pick what category we do first.
Oh.
I would appreciate that.
Oh. Okay. Let's this is our high school superlatives. Yes.
Yes. Maybe do you want to read out what we're going to be giving out today?
Yes. We will be giving out best dressed, best smile, most likely to succeed, most likely to run for office, class clown, teacher's pet, high school sweethearts, and game that made you depressed and wonder if you're the one who is wrong. One of those was written by me. I bet you can't tell which one was written by me.
I also bet you can't tell what game it's going to be.
I bet you can't. These superlatives are open for interpretation. We purposely did not give it a hard definition, just kind of made it off vibes. Because we're a podcast, we're a gaming podcast, but we like to do things with a little twist here. So yeah, they're open for interpretation. We'll explain why we chose certain things. Best smile might mean 2 different things to both of us. So I think we should come out with likely the best one. The one that is comes out swinging, which is best dressed. Best dressed to me, I don't know about you. Best dressed to me is pretty much the most well-rounded title that came out this year. Good gameplay, good people behind it, good story, visuals, audio, all the peripheral stuff that they do. That's what I think when I think of best dressed. What about you?
I thought of game that has the best costumes. So we're gonna have 2 very different conversations here.
Yes, I think we will. Well, because then I was thinking of best smile. Best smile was what I was thinking about visually. But you know what? How about we start with you for best dress for Kingdom Come 2? I see.
Okay. So Yes, I did Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for Best Dressed because there are approximately 1 more billion outfit pieces to choose from, and the armor slash clothing that you wear in that game is incredibly important. It is also very unique and varied. The game takes place in medieval, what is modern day Chechnya, Bohemia, and so you got a lot of like embroidered collars and frilly sleeves and headscarves and hats with points on them, and the armor is really the thing that triggered me to pick this for it is that there's a system for your armor. So whenever you're wearing, say, plate armor, you have to be wearing a padded outfit underneath it, or you can't wear the armor because then it would scratch you and hurt you. So you have to like layer your outfits in a very specific way and be very intentional with how you're putting things on in what order. They also impact, your social stats. Like if you're really well dressed, then the nobility will be more likely to speak with you and you'll pass checks easier. But if you're trying to intimidate someone, being covered in like blood and dirt is probably going to help you out there. So the clothing and the armor, it's like kind of two separate systems, are really the system I've been engaging with the most during my playtime. That being said, it also looks really cool. Now, side note, if I had played Pokemon Legends ZA, I bet I would give that award because I love changing my outfit in the modern Pokemon games. However, I did not play that game.
See, when you're the entire time you were talking about Kingdom Come 2 outfit system, I was thinking of Red Dead Redemption 2's outfit system, which has no bearing on anything. It's purely for cosmetic purposes, but goddamn, those outfit pieces look really good. On the flip side, however, what does affect your stats is your weight, and you can make Arthur fat, and it's always funny. But it's really, really, really extremely difficult to make Arthur fat. You need to be chowing down like every minute of the day. I don't know anyone who was able to keep Arthur in Red Dead Redemption 2 anything but like slightly underweight. I was not able to do it. I've seen videos of fat Arthur and it makes me laugh. He's not even that fat. He's a little husky, but you get extra, I think you get extra HP and lower stamina when he's fat, and that just, makes me laugh.
That's really funny. I never knew that. I've never played Red Dead. It doesn't really interest me, although I'm thinking now that I've gotten so into Kingdom Come, I might be more down for Red Dead because they have a lot of similar DNA. It is very easy to keep Henry fat in Kingdom Come. He eats like 3 apples and he's like, oh, my belly!
I'm so big! Yeah, I would honestly say play Red Dead 2 first, even. I wouldn't even play the first one yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of interested in the first one, especially for like Undead Nightmare and that new remaster, but yeah, I would skip to the second one.
Yes.
So, Best Dressed for you being the most well-rounded game. Tell me about that.
I kind of saw it more as like prom king or queen. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Just like they come out swinging. And I would give that to Look Outside, which we spoke about on an episode a while ago, I think. Did we? Or did we not? Or maybe I only spoke about it.
We did. It was actually one of our most watched episodes.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people are going to be familiar with Look Outside.
Yes, I'm not going to harp on it very long, but Look Outside really is like the full package, in my opinion. I imagine it as a person. I imagine Sam from Look Outside, but a little less ugly because he's hideous. Nice hair, got a nice suit on. When I think of Look Outside and Best Dressed, that's what I think of, because that game looks really good. First of all, it's got really stunning pixel art, great sprites everywhere you go. Every sprite is almost like totally unique. There's very little reused sprites and assets. All of them just like lovingly handmade. And, like, very intricately detailed from this like creative mind who makes these disgusting horror abominations. And then on the flip side, it's very cutesy looking characters that make you go like, oh, I want to be friends with that guy, that disgusting horror abomination. But he has like a little googly eye on him, so you kind of like him more. It's got a really good story. The gameplay is pretty knockout, and also that soundtrack, really criminal that it's not on Spotify yet. Really upset about that.
Yeah,
and the guy who developed it, crazy. He made that game in a couple months, and then he dropped like several updates that had a massive amount of content. It's just like this guy. You ever meet someone who you're like, damn, that guy's perfect? I don't know what's like,
Yeah.
like what's wrong with that guy? Like, there's something wrong with him deep down. You just can't find it, and it like racks your brain. That's Look Outside to me. That's what I think about. I personified Look Outside. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is certainly a very, very strong vision for not just the visuals and the story, but the game overall. And I think he followed through on it pretty much to a T. I mean, it's very well executed. Best dressed.
Best dressed.
Is that
Do
it?
we go to best dressed? Yep, that's good. That's all I got for Look
right.
Outside.
right.
It's also
down.
it might be on another list, so I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's go down the list then, just to keep us in check here. So we'll do Best Smile next. And I'm a little confused about this one.
Okay, why are you
So
confused about this
for
one?
me-
You wrote it.
For me, Best Smile means game that made me smile the biggest.
Oh,
Clearly you did not think that, or else you wouldn't have chosen this game for it. So tell me
You're
what you
right.
thought of Best Smile.
when you said best smile, I thought something has a very good visual design. It's very visually pleasing, like a smile from someone really trust. Very attractive individual. That's what I thought about when you said best smile. However, I know that it doesn't sound like I have much to talk about with this one because I picked Cast and Chill. I did not like Cast and Chill at all. It's kind of like a glorified idle game where you just fish, but there's very little clues and hints to how to catch the fish. You have like a guide on like this fish prefers this bait and prefers this type of like it only shows up at this point in time and at this area. That's fine, but like you're kind of hunting, not really fishing. When I think of fishing, I think of like I'm gonna go to this quaint old spot in the watering hole and I drop my line and I just kind of see what bites. That is not what Cast and Chill is. Cast and Chill is like you have to outfit yourself for the fish that you're looking at right now, or else it's not gonna bite. That was my experience with Cast and Chill. But there is a idle mode in that game that literally the game will just play itself and just like collect money for you. And that actually is probably the highest value of the game because the pixel art is gorgeous. Certainly some of the best pixel art I have ever seen. I'm sure pictures are up right now, but let me just get a picture right now to get myself acquainted. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. Like, I'm thinking like Northern America, like Canadian wilderness. I think of Alaska, really, when I think of the location that this game takes place in. Just these crystal clear waters, beautiful skylines, mountains in the back, birds flying, deer in the foreground. You go underwater, and it's kind of like, kind of dark and moody. You see that underwater aquatic life, lily pads sprouting from underwater, maybe like a shipwreck, like a small little shipwreck, some debris, like a fish or like a crab is hanging out under. It's really, really phenomenal looking, I will say. And the music is also very relaxing. There's not really music and more kind of like guitar strings that play when you like catch things. And, it's just like it's supposed to be a calming experience. Just put out your boat, set it to like nighttime, and then like go out to the harbor or the bay or wherever location you like the most. Put the sun down, like the stars up and the moon out, stuff like that, the moon shining on you, and just cast your line. Extremely, extremely relaxing. But gameplay wise, I am so totally horrifically against it. But if you're like, damn, I really want to not play a video game, but still want to spend like $10, $15 for basically a glorified screensaver that you can like get idle game currency out of and buy like subsequent upgrades so that you continue not playing it, you should play Cast and Chill.
I have to agree. It is quite beautiful. It's the
very-
reason why it's still on my Steam wishlist, even though you have repeatedly called it the worst game ever made. So
Not true, but yes.
yeah, it is pretty good. It reminds me of like those old school adventure games, but if they just took like the entire time they took to make the game just for the art.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people could probably get used out of it. Maybe if you were like, on a train or like waiting for your flight or something, this could be really relaxing or something like that. But I just found myself feeling like I'm wasting time whenever I was playing this game. I felt like I could have been doing something else. So, this is kind of like, if you're kind of like me and you're thinking, oh man, I could be getting like this done or that done, then maybe don't get this game. But if you're looking at this game and you're like, fuck, I need something to like veg out to. I need to be really like, I'm going to come home really drunk and I'm just going to put this on and I'm just going to like knock out. Yeah, maybe. But
yeah,
that's all I got.
That makes sense, actually. It is called Cast and Chill. I mean, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so for me, for best smile, again, I said the one that made me smile the most. And I put, and this is gonna, if you know what this game is, it's gonna sound strange. I put And Roger, which is a horrifying game that is very scary and very sad.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
So this game's, it's a Florence-like, we'll call it. It's about an hour long, maybe an hour and a half long. It's basically just a interactive short film. And it is incredibly unsettling and disturbing right from the jump, to the point that I don't even want to talk about what is like the subject matter or anything like that. It's so short and it's so cheap. I'm just going to advise everyone out there to please play it. It's definitely worth it. Even if this doesn't seem like your kind of game, it's very moving. And the reason I put it as best smile, despite it being so horrific, is that it has a middle act that reveals a lot about what's actually going on in the story. And that middle part of this, for all intents and purposes, horror game is one of the most heartwarming stories I've ever received from a game. And the way that they pull it off, it just made me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. And it was like, it made me and Sam happy cry and sad cry in like the span of an hour. In your notes, entirely worth your time.
In your I see you corrected it, but in your notes you just wrote "made fiance," and I was like, "What?" And then
that was a note for me because
I
was worried that I was going to say it made my girlfriend cry, and then she would get mad at me for not calling her my fiance. So it made my fiance cry.
Okay.
That was what that note's about. But yeah, it is a very, very moving experience. It's very disturbing, but it's also super impactful. I would highly recommend it. I think it's on Switch as well as PC, so it's easy to get to.
That's what I want on my Nintendo console.
Hey, it presents like a Nintendo game. It's, cute and
kind of looks like a WarioWare cutscene.
Yeah, but it's like Florence, where you can do a lot with a little. It does have dialogue, unlike Florence, which
I did look up a little about this game, and I am quite interested in the idea and like what it's doing. I already get it. You know what I mean? But again, I won't spoil it. But I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I see, I get it.
Yeah, I think I think Ilo and you would enjoy it if you played it together. But yeah, it's definitely a big recommend for me. Okay, moving on then. Most likely to succeed. I took this as the most likely to succeed.
I took this as the most likely to succeed and make the company more $1 billion. Word
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Did you know the word of the year for Oxford was more billion?
That's not true.
No, it's not. It was rage bait, I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think wasn't it Dictionary.com's like 6-7 or something?
I think Dictionary.com was 6-7, which doesn't really sound like a word. I feel like it's more of a phrase. I feel like rage bait is more of a word. But 6-7 feels more like a phrase. Also, 6-7 is 2 numbers. So I'm like, really, unless, I guess 1 is a number and a word. Is 1 a word? I'm looking this up. Is the number 1 a word?
You mean like
is 1 a word or a number?
Because like you can spell them out and then they're words.
Yeah, but like, if you put if you put 1 in a calculator, you wouldn't say there's a word on the calculator. You'd say there's a number on the calculator.
They did call them mathematical sentences when I was growing up, and that always fucked me up. Instead of problems.
Well, I don't really like that. A mathematical sentence?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyway, we both picked Mario Kart World. We both picked Mario Kart World. That is who we think is most likely to succeed and make more $1 billion. Which actually, I think it's a little ironic because I'm pretty sure Mario Kart 8 is still outselling Mario Kart World right now.
Well, okay, yes. Mine, I was sort of thinking of the money angle, but also of these games that we're going to talk about today, which is going to be the most talked about still in 10 years? It's going to be Mario Kart World. Like,
yes, because I already don't see
heading-
anyone talking about Mario Kart 8. I've never seen anyone talk about Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 is like I don't even know what you would compare it to. It's like everyone does it, but no one talks about it. It's like getting gas. Like no one talks about like, oh yeah, everyone talk about getting gas. No, but we all have done it.
I don't know. I feel like Mario Kart 8 is like the universal constant. Like that one, Mario Kart 8 is probably a better answer for this category. Mario Kart 8 was probably going to be the most successful Mario game for the rest of time, if I had to guess.
Likely.
But Mario Kart World, out of the games that came out this year, I think it's going to have a lot of staying power. And it's also going to be incredibly popular. Basically, everyone that gets a Switch 2 is going to get Mario Kart World, whether it comes bundled in or not. And I do think Mario Kart 8 is a better game. But Mario Kart has that factor about it that is just approachable to literally everyone.
Mario Kart World is also extremely expensive. $. Like by itself. However, if you buy it in the Switch bundle, you get it for $50. So it's like, why would you not get the bundle? You know what I mean?
I think it's a digital copy with the bundle.
It's a digital copy, but who gives a shit?
I do. I bought a Switch and Mario Kart separately. I put down the money.
$30 for a cartridge? That's a Jonathan decision. You're wild.
Yeah, you're right.
That's something I'd do. And even
do you have a digital copy of Mario Kart World?
Yeah, I got the bundle. I was like, fuck
I
that.
didn't know that.
It was the only thing available at the time. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, but also I probably would have made the same decision because I don't want to like. The same thing. I have only a digital copy of Smash Ultimate because it's like. I just want that on my machine at all times.
Yeah, I did that for Animal Crossing because I wanted to just always have it there.
Yeah, you're right. Some games need to be on your machine at all times.
I'm WarioWare Gold very intentionally on digital, so it will always be on my 3DS. That's like the only game I still play on my 3DS regularly.
I think that game had a really limited run anyway.
Yeah, because it came out after the Switch, so stores didn't want to like stock it.
Yeah.
It was a whole mess.
You know what game also came out really late physically on 3DS?
Samus Returns?
No, but I mean yes. Samus Returns was 2017, I think.
Well, what are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion 3D came out.
True.
I'm pretty sure it came out in 2018.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Which was really weird. And then let's not forget the last game that was released on 3DS.
Fragrant Story.
What?
Fragrant Story? Is that
was
what
it?
you're talking about?
No, I was talking about Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn.
Oh, I completely forgot that exists. That's so
What the fuck is Fragrant Story?
It's a really bad, shallow RPG that is a parody of Vagrant Story that came out on the 3DS in like 2023.
I think I've actually. Dude,
I think there's a
Vagrant
Switch
Story?
version now.
I would love to play Vagrant Story.
Yeah, it's not like available on anything. now,
No,
is
it came out on people cite Vagrant Story as like one of the best RPGs of all time. Came out on PS1, and then they just were like never touched it ever again. Really bizarre. Additionally, I want to bring up Vagrant Story. You look it up online. First thing that comes up, update. I regret buying Vagrant Story r/. I would love to play Vagrant Story, man. If they dropped a remake, if they dropped like literally just a port, because I actually really dig the PlayStation chunkiness, and I think they did a really good job at how that game looks. I would buy it. I would buy it for like $30.
I probably would
Easily.
too.
Yeah. Easily.
Can I note that part of the reason that we're probably so willing to just completely veer off the conversation for Mario Kart World is because it's already set in stone that we don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's already a universal constant, just like Mario Kart 8 was. Like getting gas. We will not talk about it, but we will all know that it's there.
There's also really not that much to talk about. It's like just a really good Mario Kart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really nice that it's in an interconnected world. It's kind of, it has good courses. It's just Mario Kart. Really good. That's it. That's all we need to talk about.
All right, next up, most likely to run for office. Now, I remember the kid who got this in our 8th grade yearbook, I think, is probably in jail, so I don't know how accurate this category is. But
Most likely to run for office is like a fly trap for growing narcissists.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah.
people who fucking get that award.
Yeah, fair. It's for like the the straight A student who's got some underlying behavioral issues.
Yeah, for someone who really has an unhealthy obsession with control, but they
Yep.
somehow made it like kind of flippant in their personality. Like, oh, he's gonna run for president one day. It's like he shouldn't.
Well, maybe he should, but until he turns 70, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, you're right.
So for this one, I didn't even really have a justification. It's just when I read that this phrase, most likely to run for office, it made me think of Blueprints, which is a game that I didn't even finish. That came out towards the beginning of the year.
It's funny because you talked about it so much this year.
I know, I really like Blueprints. It's sort of above my pay grade. It's for like puzzle freaks, puzzle sickos. It is a really, really good game. But the reason I think it's most likely to run for office is because for two reasons. First off, you really, really have to think and plan and get your ducks in a row if you want to be successful at this game. You have to take notes like on a piece of paper outside of the game if you want to know what's going on. If you want to get all the game's secrets, you have to basically get a PhD in Blueprints. And I think I was reading that there's still mysteries that haven't been solved, and I don't know how that happens in a day and age where every game gets data mined to shit. But apparently there's still secrets. The other reason is that I have a feeling that there will never be another game like Blueprints, because I don't think it can be replicated. I think it's going to have a huge influence on how puzzle games are made for the rest of time, at least first-person indie puzzle games. But I don't think we will ever get a game that goes for the same premise, because it is so singular. The vision here is so specific that it's going to stand out like a good politician has a very specific platform and stands out, and they're far and few between. So that's where I'm coming from.
I see. That is a very I wouldn't say polarizing review, because that's not the word I want. I don't really know how to react to that. That is so it's so strong.
Yeah, and it's not like it's my favorite game of all time. I actually think I'm kind of bad at it, and for that reason I haven't made a lot of progress. But it's just so unique. I think that's the point I'm trying to get across. Like I read an interview with the developer who basically said that it's only in English. The game's only in English because it's basically unable to be translated, because there are so many layers upon layers of puzzles that rely on English wordplay that in order to translate it to any other language would take hundreds of hours of like retooling all of the puzzles. And that doesn't happen ever.
Did it win Indie Game of the Year? No.
I think it may have won the Indie Game Awards game of the year.
Yes, I think.
But no, I don't. But yeah, I think it's a really great game that's worth looking into, even if it's just for like, you're going to experience things you've never experienced in a game before, and I know we're all looking for that.
Yes. As I say, putting Call of Duty Black Ops 7 in my cart. What I say.
You've never seen AI slop like this before.
You've never seen a game like this before.
So, Jonathan, do you have anything for this? Has anything?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I have decided now that, because at first I was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But now that you've said that, I kind of get it. It's something like a trendsetter, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Something that where other games will take lessons from it, or likely to become like a leader in a certain aspect and be seen as like, oh, these guys popularized something. And so I will say, and I'm kind of torn between, well, actually, let me see when this game came out right now, because I just realized I don't know when this fucking game came out.
Ooh, interesting.
But anyway, I have another game. If that doesn't work, I will mention it at least. This game came out, all right, in 2025. I will say it's not an individual game, but most likely a run for office is any game right now that is popularizing proximity chat, like, accurately. And I think it goes to probably a two-way tie in effectiveness between Peak and Repo. Probably more for Peak, because Peak is much more accessible. But I think the dudes at, what is it, Aggro Crab? Land Crab?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Land Crab seem to really know what they're doing. I think they've struck gold with Peak with this like proximity chat co-op climb a mountain kind of thing. And I think a lot of independent developers are going to take this philosophy moving forward, especially with this whole like proximity chat thing. I feel like proximity chat's been around for a little bit now with things like I don't know. I think the first game that really did it, that put it like on the map, like there was games that kind of had it like here and there, more or less, but I think the game that did it most effectively and put it on a lot of people's radar was Lethal Company. And while my opinion on Lethal Company is that it's kind of like, I wouldn't say a cash grab, but kind of like, I mean, that dude probably doesn't have to work on the game anymore. And I think that's exactly what happened. I think the dude was like making a game and had like a vision on where it was gonna go, and then he already made all the money he ever needs, and he's just like, well, I just, nah, it's over. I don't have to update it anymore. I think that is what popularized it, and then other games took it further and really enhanced upon it. And I think Peak is probably the best example of the proximity chat and the co-op kind of style, like online gameplay kind of style right now.
Yeah, between Peak, Repo, Arc Raiders, this really was the year of prox chat.
The prox chat.
Yeah, and like, okay, the reason we know it's called proximity chat is because it's been around forever. I mean, like Halo 2 had proximity chat. It's not like it's a new feature, but I feel like developers were hesitant to use it before, mainly for the toxicity reasons, but also because it probably takes quite a lot of effort to make it work well. And I think now that we've seen some indie developers kind of embrace it, I think you're right that is going to be a big thing moving forward, especially for things like battle royales, for co-op games. I mean, they've added it to like Among Us. I assume it's in Fortnite. I'm just assuming, but like things like that they're gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it's I think it works best when it's a cooperative game or really just a game that you play with friends. But yes, proximity chat does get very dubious when you start matching with people online across the world. That's when it gets very, very dubious. But yeah, hopefully we see more really good uses of proximity chat, because there's nothing quite like being stuck on a mountain in Peak, falling off a slippery ledge, landing several miles down below, somehow still alive, and then having to make your way back up, or on the flip side, watching your friend plummet to his doom and then wonder what happened to him. There's nothing quite like that experience. It's like real life. It's like real life.
Like real life.
Like real life.
I picked Peak as my next one for Class Clown because I do think I've laughed playing Peak more than any other game, certainly this year, but maybe ever.
Right.
It is an anecdote generator, and it is very good at generating these stories and funny moments and memorable experiences with your friends. But, I mean, yes, it is just an excuse to talk with your friends, which apparently we all need nowadays. Yes. But it really works, and it gets the job done better than any other funny game this year.
It's relaxed, but stressful enough for you to like actually kind of keep playing and kind of know what you're doing, focused enough. And I don't think the gameplay really kind of gets in its own way, like something like Repo. Like when you're playing Repo, at a certain point, you're like, oh man, I still got like $4,000 worth of shit to bring back to the vehicle. Oh, dude. Or something like Lethal Company is like the same thing. You're like, man, I'm not gonna make that fucking quota, and the gameplay just kind of gets in its way. Peak really doesn't have that because it's just like survive, like just get to the end. It doesn't matter how you do it, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a confession.
Oh.
I actually don't really like Peak. I think it's kind of a bad game that I don't like playing that much. But I love playing it because I play it with you, Isla, and Sam, and we have incredible conversations, incredible funny moments. It makes me laugh. So yeah, I don't like playing it, but I like hanging out with my friends, and that game makes you do funny things that other games don't.
If Isla heard that right now, 8 missiles on the way to your home.
I'm sorry, Isla.
8 missiles.
But I like playing it with you guys because it's like, it puts you in the mindset of, like, you don't have to try very hard to be funny. Like, you don't have to tell a joke. You just have to engage with the game, and it just happens naturally.
Yeah, because everyone just looks silly, and there's just like silly shit happening. You know what game that I didn't like playing with all of you, which because I did play with everyone on stream. Warm Monkey. That was my Class Clown pick. and I picked Class Clown for War Monkey because they're just fucking around. They're just fucking around with that one. War Monkey, I streamed because I thought it was so funny. Like the concept, like I saw the trailer and I was like, this is so funny. Like I'm a monkey and I have no idea what the game actually is. So really it's kind of my fault, but like the trailer for War Monkey is just this kind of like surreal, like abstract like thing where you're a monkey and like you're running around like a busy street and like sipping up water and getting hit by cars and shit. I'm like, oh, okay. This is a Jonathan game. I'm gonna stream this with everyone and we're gonna play War Monkey and I'm gonna be a monkey and I'm gonna go and we're just gonna have fun. And then I played it. I purchased it for $15 and I said, that's a little steep. And then I started playing it and I realized that I got scammed. War Monkey, as I said, you play as a monkey and you just go down. You just go down. You hold down on your keyboard and you try not to get hit by cars and you sip up water and you do platforming in a 2D space. You ever play a 2D beat 'em up that has really poor Y-axis registration?
All of the beat 'em ups that I've ever played, yeah.
Yeah, you could be like a little too further down than the character and you just whiff. That's War Monkey's platforming. War Monkey is just an arcade game that probably should have been $5 maximum. But
I think arcade game might even be a bit generous.
I mean, it really is because it's kind of the same thing and you just kind of get a high score. But it's like wild that's the only reason why I have such a negative view on this game. Because the game is $15 fucking dollars. That's crazy. That is crazy. You know what game was not $15? You know what game is less than $15?
What?
And fucking Look Outside. Look Outside is $10 by itself.
Yeah.
No sale. It's $10. $5 more, which can buy a lot of things. You can buy War Monkey. And you played 10 minutes of War Monkey, you've experienced everything in the game. What
they did.
Was he
they
thinking?
did pull a prank. This is a very funny prank.
It is. I feel like I got tricked, actually. I do feel like I got tricked.
March 3rd, 2025. The peak War Monkey concurrent players of all time, 7.
Yeah, one of those is probably me.
You were one of them. You're like one of probably like 50 people that got scammed out of $15.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
I'm really upset about it. Because I saw, you know what? I blame the YouTube algorithm. Because I saw it on my YouTube algorithm. I saw the trailer. And I said, I need to be a part of this. And lo and behold, it was just made by some guy. Not to, diss this guy's whole life. Because it is visually intriguing. And the music is also very, like, surreal and kind of bizarre. I do feel like, in a way, I'm playing as a monkey who doesn't really fully understand the human world that he's in and just trying to get to the beach so I can cool myself off in this hot summer air, right? On the other end, it's $15. I feel like this guy might have overestimated, like, the art of his game. Because it's too much. It's too much goddamn money. It's too much money.
So I'm looking at the stats. There is 0 people playing War Monkey right now. It kind of, and like looking at the art and everything we said, this kind of feels like a creepypasta. Like if you launched War Monkey, you'd be the only person on the planet of 9 billion people playing this game.
Yeah.
That's kind of freaky.
And if something weird happens, if there's like a scary face shows up and like crashes my computer, there's no one to listen to me because everyone's just gonna go, "What is?"
Unless you were streaming it.
Unless I was streaming it. I mean, I streamed it for 3 hours. I have 3 hours in this game. I feel like I played it. I feel like I'm the expert in War Monkey, and unfortunately, the only advice and expertise I have is go down.
It go down.
It go down. It go down. Just hold down that arrow key and sip up that water, and that's really it. I mean, listen. It's on sale right now for $6. Even that, I think, is a bit much. I think if this game was $5, not on sale, I wouldn't be this upset. But it really is like, $15 is fucking crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like I'm not coming through. Am I Are you looking at this and saying like, yeah, I paid $15 for this?
No, I'm telling you, you got punked. You got scammed.
I really want to know why he did that. I'm flabbergasted and why the developer would charge $15 for it. I just don't understand.
That's a funny prank. He's the class clown.
He put his name on it. It's like he scammed me, I guess, but his name is on it. If I ever see his name again, I'm gonna go, that's the motherfucker who took $15 from me.
Yeah, he just mugged you, actually.
He did. I don't know how to, I feel like you might have to, it might have been one of those things you needed to be there for. I'm having a tough time getting past this right now because I feel like I'm not fully transferring the emotions I felt while playing this game.
I don't know if that stream VOD is still up, but it was soul-crushing to watch you play War Monkey. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. As long as you understand, then let's
like
move on.
At the end of the first run, you were already like, oh.
Wait, really? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I remember, like, literally the first run through the game, you were like, there's gotta be more. And then you did another one, and there was not more.
There was not more. And I played that for, like, another 3 hours, too.
Sorry for your loss.
That's alright. Let's move on.
Okay. Next up, Teacher's Pet. For this one, I put Metroid Prime 4 because there is one, count them, one new ability that is not in any of the other Prime games. It plays it so safe. It is just the Prime 3 formula, but they put an empty open world in the middle instead of a loading screen, and they gave you a Nikita missile from Metal Gear. Everything else is exactly the same as it was before. It literally, they just said, okay, Retro, we fucked up Prime 4, we need you to make a new one. Can you just do what you did before so that we can get something out the door? And they said, yes, ma'am, we're on it. And they just made another Metroid Prime 3, but not even as good.
Wow. Would you rather have the empty open world, or would you rather have the AAA experience of, like, kind of like squeezing through tight passages to hide loading screens?
Okay, we got that too, though. Because it's Metroid, which means you're morph balling through. It's not like you're doing a morph ball puzzle. You're going through tight caves as the morph ball to get from point A to point B all the time.
Hey,
another note here: the Metroid is not linear, but this one is.
Yes, and, I've heard.
Yeah, so they didn't even like take risks with making players backtrack. There's not even a scavenger hunt at the end like there is in all the other Prime games. It's literally just point A to point B for 10 hours, and then the game ends. And the only thing you experience new is this Nikita missile thing, which isn't even really that fun to control.
Welcome back, Halo. Welcome back, Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Actually, even Halo Infinite is actually very open world. It actually is an open world.
And I guess I should put on the record, I didn't hate, I genuinely did not hate the open world in Prime 4, because it's small. It's fun to drive the motorcycle. It's decently fun to fight the enemies in the open world, but it really serves no purpose. There's nothing to do in it. I would have rather it just been a loading screen.
Yeah. I get it. I really do. And you know what? That's actually very sad because I really like the fuck around and find out aspect of Metroid. That's like my favorite aspect of the game. I played through this year I played through Samus Returns, and I love just like getting a new ability and being like, well, I'm gonna wander around and see what I can find. I love that. The fact that that's not in Prime 4 is very, very upsetting.
Like it is there, but it's like in the other Prime games, you get like the fire beam, and you're like, oh, of course, all of those ice doors that I need to melt, I can go get those now, and that is here. You can backtrack to the other levels and unlock the ice doors and get the missile expansions or whatever. But in the other games, there's also, what if I shot this cobweb with a fire laser and it melted, and then I could get to the door behind it? And then not only is it a missile expansion, it leads to a hidden area with several other puzzles contained within. In this one, yes, there are the cobwebs, but you shoot them, and then you get a missile expansion. Yes, there are the doors, you shoot them, and you get an energy tank. There's no puzzles. You just go there and do the thing. And I know that all the upgrading in Metroid is completely optional, but here it's always so clear what your next objective is that you won't accidentally do these things while you're trying to progress. You have to go out of your way to do them.
I saw I saw a lot of gameplay footage of like soldiers that would get like down and be like, I need to get revived, and like in that voice exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like you have to revive them.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? That's like a real thing. That's so funny.
Yeah, and it's not explained to you at all until it happens for the first time. And I thought it was gonna be like Halo 5, where like your CPU teammate goes down and you can revive them, but you can also just like focus on what you want to do. No, here it's like your screen starts flashing, it goes bam, 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 and it's just, there's a lot of problems with that game. But I think the biggest sin is that they played it entirely too safe for the most part, and the risks that they did take were completely misguided.
Man, that is really sad. Because this game took a really, really long time to come out, and for it to look like it has like none of, and I unfortunately, I have this game, and I purchased it at full price because it's not gonna go on sale. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just get it now. I don't give a shit. And I'm like thinking about it in my head. I'm like, it really does seem to have like none of the aspects of the Metroid that I haven't played that many Metroid games. I played maybe 3 or 4, but I really like a lot of aspects of them, and the fact that there's like almost none of them in Metroid Prime 4 is very surprising, especially with the whole like I keep on seeing this footage with all these like secondary characters and stuff like that, and that really fucks with me because I really like Metroid because of how isolated Samus always is. She's always on like some planet that where like no one else is. You know what I mean? And to see her in a room with like 4 other soldiers like helping her, I'm like, that really does not strike Metroid to me. You know what I mean? I think kind of fucks.
Let me put something out there that I think that Prime 4 is actually a good game. I think the worst Metroid Prime is still better than 90% of other games. But whenever you have that legacy, not only of Prime, but also of all the other Metroids and all the other Metroidvanias in a year when Hollow Knight Silksong came out, to compare this game against all of those, it just completely falls flat. But I'm looking at my list, it is number 8 on my top 10 of the games that came out this year. And I played a lot of games that came out this year. It has a lot of fun. There are a lot of really good puzzles, and there's a lot of interesting ties to Ocarina of Time, in that these levels feel like dungeons more than the interconnected maps of previous Metroid Primes. And I like it for what it is. I just think that it falls so short of its legacy that it comes off as extremely disappointing. But I think as a general video game, there is a lot of value here. And to your point about the NPCs, they started doing the thing with the NPCs in Prime 3, and I agree with you, it is completely not what Metroid is supposed to be, and they doubled down on it here. I don't think it worked, but it had the potential to work, in that these characters are not as bad as everyone says they are. They just aren't really given a lot to work with. If the story was a little bit more well thought out, and they actually gave a shit about what these characters are going to be doing, yeah, I think it could have worked. So sure, I guess that's one risk they took that kind of paid off. But even then, it was like they missed the mark. So
you played
good game with
Other
bad
M
parts. Other M, no, not yet. I do have it.
Is that the one? Is Prime 3 the one where it's like, you have not been authorized to use your super missiles, or is it Other M?
That must be Other M. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Adam has not authorized.
Yeah, that's
equipment.
Other M, but
it's like, you have this equipment, but he's not letting you. At least we laugh.
But for specifically for you, but also for anyone listening, it is worth playing. Just don't expect it to blow your socks off. It's like a solid 6 or 7 out of 10, which is better than most games are.
Say that again.
Whoa. What were we talking about? I got so locked into that. I don't even know
We're talking about Teacher's Pet.
Teacher's Pet. Right. What'd you pick?
Yeah, okay, so that was basically your warm monkey right there. You know, I had a little exacerbation, you had a little exacerbation. Now we're equal. Now we should be able to get through this entire list without incident. Go on. I say, closing in on a nervous breakdown when I have to talk about Silent Hill F. My Teacher's Pet is not Metroid Prime 4. I haven't played it. My Teacher's Pet is Mario Kart World, because that game is a little suck up and you know it. That's how I saw Teacher's Pet. The Mario Kart World, no risks, fan service out the ass. What's the risk?
The straightaways and open worlds and knockout tour.
I really don't. Yeah, people were like upset with that. I was like, what?
I'm not terribly upset with it, but I'm just putting it out there that it is pretty different.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think overall this is like a teacher's pet. I think it has like very little controversy. It does almost nothing out of the norm. The things it does do out of the norm is just like kind of like a peripheral thing that you like wall riding. It's like there's nothing, that never really actually comes up. It's just kind of like a fun thing that you can do. It has all these characters, all these costumes. All the lady characters get like a million costumes, and then Donkey Kong gets like one. Kind of upsetting, but okay. But yeah, it's teacher's pet. And they knew what they were doing when they were making it, and they're like, we're just going to make a crowd pleaser. And they did. They really, really did, especially in that soundtrack. That soundtrack was great.
Whew. Yeah, I agree. It is the most inoffensive Nintendo game they've made this generation.
Except for the whole like rubber banding thing. Not the rubber banding, but like if you're in first like the whole time and then someone overtakes you, it's like borderline impossible to catch up, because the game reads your it kind of like the director in Left 4 Dead, except if the director exclusively wanted to fuck you over. That's what Mario Kart World has. So if you're trying to get those like gold cups or whatever, you actually kind of have to play a little bit like shit sometimes, so that the game is like, oh, okay, I'll tone it down. And I'm not kidding about that. We had to do a whole thing. We were trying to unlock mirror mode, and I had to do like a whole thing where I was figuring that shit out. That's the only real problem I had with that game. Otherwise, it's great. And also that Rainbow Road is good.
It's so good.
That one part where you like in the very beginning of Rainbow Road, where you're driving across the lake, and then the rainbow comes down and the stars like come down and the gate shows up. Probably my number one memory of the year of gaming, because I was like playing with a bunch of people and I went, holy shit, this looks great.
That is an incredible moment. That should be moment of the year. You're right.
It might be. I don't think we have moment of the year, but
we don't. But if we did,
but that's it.
That would be it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
All right. Next up, High School Sweethearts. Now for this one, I picked two games that are kissing cousins for me.
Nope.
My Alexa is talking to me about kissing cousins right now.
Yeah, probably said police over to your house right now. Okay.
Yes, so Doom the Dark Ages and Donkey Kong Bonanza to me are they're a tale as old as time, but they share a very similar story. This is a sequel to a very well-regarded legacy franchise that tries to change up the formula very dramatically. And for me, both of these games are fun suckers. They just take the fun out of the game at every chance they get. And I kinda low-key regret playing both of them.
Why is this High School Sweethearts?
Because they both have they have so much in common for me. These games, if we like wrote a book about these games and what they mean to me, it would be the same story.
Okay, so these games would be High School Sweethearts.
Yes, they're High School Sweethearts with each other. They need to find each other because no one else is gonna love them.
I didn't understand what you were going for, but now I get it. Okay, thank you.
Doom the Dark Ages, getting rid of glory kills, getting rid of basically the entirety of Doom Eternal's movement shooter upgrades and things they did, taking away the rock, paper, scissors from Doom Eternal and adding in this parry mechanic that's basically the same for every enemy. It really just sucked all of the excitement out of the game for me. And I don't think it's a horrible game, but I don't really think it's very good. The further removed I get from when I played this game, the less I look back on it fondly. I mean, I think about finding collectibles that are not hidden behind good puzzles. I think about standing my ground, i.e. sitting there and waiting for a slow-moving green laser to get close to me so I can right-click it and then shoot over and over and over again for every enemy. I think about those mech fights, which, while not the worst thing in the world, were completely unnecessary. And I just remember those things. I don't remember any of the good parts because there weren't that many memorable moments for me.
Yeah, it was really weird. But aren't you really excited that this is only the first installment in the Doomguy medieval trilogy or saga or whatever they said? They said like more. I think we're gonna have more medieval games coming, guys.
I didn't hate the theming and the medievalness of it.
No,
I really
that's
didn't.
fine.
It was
Well, I
fine.
mean, I kind of did because then they kind of just doubled back on it because everyone has like guns and future technology and tanks and shit anyway. So I was like, so this is just kind of like what's the UAC? It's just like yeah, this is just like humanity's UAC, but like they're medieval. Like they kind of act exactly the same. They look different, but they act exactly the same. They're basically just the human characters, but with like a little tinge of fantasy. I really thought they were gonna be like these like race of like warrior people who don't like they don't have like electricity and shit. But then it's just like yeah, they do. They got like spaceships and teleportation and like I thought it was gonna be more magical. You know what I mean? Like we made a portal using the blood magic of the blah 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 blah. But it was like nah, we got computers.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna have like guns and stuff, but having all the spaceships and all that really was it doesn't
just make
feel
it the
too
argent.
good.
Just make them have like argent like crossbows or like literally artillery cannons. I would like literally Elden Ring-esque jar cannon, but like argent. I'd be like word.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind the theming and all that. It was more like that. I think that all the changes they made for the gameplay were completely the wrong direction. I liked where Doom Eternal was going. I know not everyone loved the platforming and not everyone loved the rock paper scissors, but they really worked for me. And to see them just completely scrap both of those things was kind of a letdown.
The rock paper scissors just gets like really old, I think, in DLC. You're just like, oh jeez, it's kind of like a crutch at a certain point where you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, but like imagine if the rock paper scissors was you were always rock and the enemies were always scissors, and you just have to wait for the green scissors to get close to you so you can hit them with your rock.
Yeah, but that's that's what apparently the gamers wanted. I think the ever-present like I said this a while ago, but it's literally just like Doom guy loads shotgun with malicious intent meme is just like very prevalent, and they kind of made that game with that in mind. Be like, we're gonna make it a power fantasy. Meanwhile, if you play something like Doom 2016, it's like, yeah, he fucks up everything, but like you gotta work for it at least. You know what I mean? But like Doom of the Dark Age is just like he's so cool. He's so cool and awesome. And even Doom Eternal, they were just like, isn't he so cool? It's like, yeah, he's cool. I think they should take a break with Doom. Before we move on, I know you're going to talk about the next one, which we will have words about. But before we move on, I think they should just take a break on Doom, like high key, and I think they should reboot Quake. And I'm not even fucking playing with you.
I'm on board for that. Yeah.
Yeah. If I woke up and they dropped like an HD, like Doom 2016-esque reboot of Quake, I would be the shits. There would be shit in my pants. Because I think Quake is much better than Doom. And I actually don't even think that's a controversial opinion. I think I think everyone thinks Quake is better. I think anyone who's played Quake and Doom knows that Quake is better than Doom. Doom just has aura. Quake did not have as much aura at the time. Quake is much better than Doom.
I think I'm gonna play Quake in 2026. That's my goal.
I thought you have.
No, I've like touched it. I've never played through the first three. I've never even played through the first one. So I wanna play them this year.
Okay. Well, Quake 3, I think a multiplayer game.
Oh. Well, I like Quake Champions, so maybe I'll like it.
I think you'd have to do Quake 4. That's the next one. That's like.
Okay. All right.
But you had to. Okay, we might have a whole episode about the Quake games. Quake games are really, really weird. Also, you're probably gonna really fucking hate Quake when you first play it, and then play it again, and then you probably will feel better.
No, dude, it gets really good 100 hours in. You don't understand.
I swear, when you forget all your FPS instincts and think about how it would be to play this game for the first time in the 90s, it's awesome. Trust me. Okay, let's talk about your next one.
My next one is Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is High School Sweethearts with Doom, because it has the exact same problem, where it took everything that was fun about Donkey Kong and everything that was fun about 3D Mario and completely sucked it right out by giving you this ability to dig a straight hole to the objective and not making you collect anything. The beginning of this game is so strong because they reveal all their tricks right away. then the ending of this game is so strong. Not only for the Donkey Kong Country nostalgia, but also for having genuinely good boss fights and some interesting platforming ideas in the final sections. Everything in the middle is a rinse and repeat over and over again with inconsequential gimmicks that rarely matter because you just turn into an elephant and suck up all the dirt in the level until you get to the objective. Yes,
That is true.
that is my choice to do that. However, I shouldn't have to find the fun in a Nintendo 3D platformer. They are supposed to provide it to me, and they did not. And for that reason, I'm out.
Yep. And I agree with you to a certain extent. I like Donkey Kong Bonanza a lot. I wouldn't. It's not perfect. I gave it a 9 because I think that it is a really, really fun game, and I think it can put a smile on basically anyone's face. But yeah, philosophically, there's like an issue here because every solution to almost every single puzzle in the game, or not puzzle, but almost every objective in the game is just kind of like punch. It's like, which direction are you punching? It kind of changes a little bit when you're throwing things, but even then, that's just like the other thing that you could be doing. It's like, okay, you're either throwing or you're punching. Like, which one are you doing? Very rarely you do something other than that, and it doesn't work. I will say a lot of the post-game stuff is really good and possibly more of what you wanted, Jake, where it kind of goes outside the box and makes you really use the abilities in more intricate and challenging ways. When you do the rehearsals, which are basically like the challenge levels with the transformations, that's probably what you wanted in the base game. And I acknowledge that. I find it funny that your opinion has shifted so drastically on Donkey Kong Bonanza in the recent months, but I don't blame you.
No, I agree. I did, when the game first came out, I was really hot on it when I was playing it, and I kind of got blinded by my Nintendo fanboy in that, I 100% in this game, and I realized after that I just didn't have any fun outside of the rehearsals and a handful of worlds. Most of the worlds, I was having fun in the sense that I was in a colorful world and was watching things explode. Sure, that's better than watching paint dry, but whenever I could be playing Mario Odyssey, it really just left a lot to be desired.
I really, really like punching things. So I did not have much of a problem. I really liked the worlds, and it was almost felt like Play-Doh, like punching through shit. It just had I don't know, they did a lot in like the sound design, the visual design, and when you like punch through a rock that takes multiple like cracks, you're like bam, 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 and it like cracks every time. You're like, ugh! I just like breaking shit. I just like picking up shit and breaking it. I didn't even give a shit. I would just break things for fun.
Yeah, it was fun to like level the cities. And I don't know. I guess I just didn't want a sandbox game. I wanted a super tight 3D platformer. Maybe that's an expectations thing, but it got just the sandbox nature of the game got old for me almost out of the box.
Yeah. I'd always take a level-based game over a sandbox. A sandbox game to me is more of a treat than a main course. So I kind of agree with you with that.
But I know you really liked it, so maybe we'll talk about it some more later, maybe not. But tell me about your high school sweethearts. How'd you interpret that? What'd you do?
My high school sweetheart is someone that I fell for a really, really long time ago. And I saw them again, and it made me feel those emotions all over again. That game is Kirby Air Riders. Kirby Air Ride, kind of not very good. I believe I've heard the game was made in like 3 months, and you can really tell there's like no content in Kirby Air Ride. But it is like, a fan favorite because it just, I don't know, it's fun. Something about the machines, something about the aesthetic, just really kind of not minimalist, but like very low detail aesthetic for a GameCube game and for a Nintendo game. And of course, City Trial is why anyone plays the game. Air Ride and Top Ride, respectively, are, fun and then kind of a distraction. But, a lot of people who have had a GameCube who grew up with Air Ride have a lot of nostalgia for Air Ride, even if they can acknowledge that it's actually really not that good of a game and doesn't have much content to keep you playing. Air Riders is the total inverse of that. Air Riders is as if Sakurai was able to make the game. This is probably the first game Sakurai has ever made that came out finished with everything he wanted in it. You know, like even Ultimate. Actually, Ultimate probably came out, unless you count the DLC, Ultimate probably came out exactly how Sakurai wanted it as well. But, you know, Melee, games like Kirby Air Ride, plenty of the other Kirby games, Sakurai was against like time constraints, or he couldn't do what he wanted to do, and he was like, fuck, well, I guess we'll just release it and we'll just scrap it or whatever. This was not that. Kirby Air Ride has everything that he wanted, and there's going to be no updates, content updates, there's going to be no DLC, because it's done, and he doesn't need to. And that is a statement that I fully agree with. The game is done. The game is finished. The game has so much content. There's so much to do. Air Ride is fun and beautiful. It fixes a problem that Air Ride had in the first one, in that there was really not great ways to catch up to people. In this game, you can catch people's like kind of like tailwind, basically, to catch up with them really fast. And every time you attack enemies or hit other racers, you get a speed boost and boost up. So it encourages like an offensive and aggressive play style. Meanwhile, in Air Ride, if you're in last, and that's just it. You're just fucked. There's no way to get forward. Top Ride is cute. There's items. There's a lot of items. You can use a bunch of different machines and all that stuff. There's City Trial, which has been beefed up. There's probably 100 different events between the random events that can happen in City Trial, which the city has been expanded probably by like 3 times the size, with different areas and districts and an underground location, and even an aerial, like basically kind of like a sky open world, sort of similar to Skyward Sword Zelda, where you can land on different like islands if they spawn in. That's during the matches. After the matches, the competitions, there's so many of them combined. There's probably over 100 different things to see in City Trial. And then there's even a single player mode that actually is like a real single player mode. It is just like an arcade sort of style Smash Tour-esque way of playing Kirby Air Ride, where you sort of jump into these mini challenges and get stats and continue on. But Kirby Air Riders is as if you met your high school sweetheart, but maybe you met her and it just wasn't the right time. But now it's the right time. That's Kirby Air Riders.
That's really good. That is a really good way to interpret that.
That's what Kirby Air Riders is. Kirby Air Ride was not it. This is it.
Okay, I'm glad you put it that way, because I don't really like Kirby Air Ride in the same way that I don't really like Peak, in that it's very fun to play City Trial with your friends and react to all the craziness. And I have a lot of nostalgia for Kirby Air Ride. It's one of the first GameCube games I ever owned, but I just don't really like playing it that much. But you're not the only person I've heard give this comparison that, like, it's actually good now.
Yes, it really is. It's no nostalgia. I mean, maybe a little nostalgia, but everything is so different. And it's like Sakurai really knew. He was like, people really like this, but it was messed up. And I know how to make it good in like an objective way that everyone is going to love. It's not going to be like, oh, it's not like old City Trial. It's like, oh no, this is fucking City Trial. And, you know, most importantly, the game feels good to play. The game has variety. I very rarely play an online game as it is. Even rarer do I find myself being like, oh, I just want to hop on my game. Play a couple of matches. I've done that with City Trial. And I've actually played like a bunch of the online mode for all 3 modes, actually. And, it's just... It might be one of those games where I come back every couple of months and I'm like, I'm just going to play some matches of City Trial. Because it just feels good. It feels good to hop into like a quick match or even a ranked match, which there's a ranked match. And there's, 16 people in a City Trial match at once. It's fun to run around, get power-ups. And if you can manage it, blow up another racer. That is so much fun. It feels so good. The HD rumble on your controller, dopamine into my veins.
Fair enough. I really do want to try it out. I want to get on it this year at some point. We got to play together.
We will.
I'm just scared of it. Just like...
No.
I just didn't I don't want to spend $70 on Kirby Air Ride, but I know it's not Kirby Air Ride, but it looks like Kirby Air Ride, so I'm just afraid.
I think you've spent 70 on less.
You're right.
You have to wait until you're like, man, I have $70 that I really need to spend. And I know that never happens. But one day, when your shopping addiction really takes over, you can look at Air Ride and be like, maybe today's the day.
I did put a loan on it from my local library, so one day I will get to play a demo for all intents and purposes.
I think, no, they don't have a demo for Air Riders. Never mind. They did have the global playtest.
I should have played that. I forgot about that.
You play so many different characters too, which was like I thought was be really weird. Yeah, you can play as Rick, which it's like is not even the best character. Like Rick is like, oh, it's funny you playing as Rick the hamster. That's not even the funniest character. There's weirder characters to find. If you ever wanted to play as the enemies in Kirby games where you try to suck them up, they get mad.
The cats.
Yeah, the floating like cat thingies. You can play as one of those.
That's cool.
Like one of the character slots, and he's actually like has a really good ability. All the characters have different stats that kind of like, aren't really very impactful, but might influence your playstyle a little bit, just for balancing purposes. But every character does have a unique ultimate, like a special move, and some are really good, some are like actually really bad. So I do like that because it, there is kind of like a tier list of characters. I like win games. Some games, lots of modern games these days. This is a tangent, but we'll move on in a second. I just wanted to pick a bone with modern game development. A lot of modern games are too polished in a way where there's like no bad characters, and they make it so balanced that it really doesn't matter who you choose, and it kind of feels sterile in a way. Kirby Air Riders just has some dog shit characters where you're just like, I hope I'm never gonna pick this character ever. Cappy, I don't know why anyone would ever pick Cappy. Really have no idea why. And I like that. There's a little edge to it. There's like, yeah, there's this piece of shit character, and you could pick him.
And then you get passed by him one time, and it pisses you off.
Yeah, you're like, damn, Cappy just like fucked my shit. But Cappy is also like a regular enemy in the game. So like you hit a Cappy, and his icon will come up, and it'll be like, you hit a Cappy, and you're like, was it like a real person or was it just an NPC? And you just don't find out. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
All right. So our final category, the game that made you depressed and wonder if you're the one who's wrong. I got most of mine off my chest already with my spiel about Donkey Kong, just because everyone else loves it so much and I hate it. So I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Jonathan, let her rip.
I'm not going to talk about Silent Hill F. I've already talked about Silent Hill F. Hyperlink to the episode of Silent Hill. Timestamped where I start talking about Silent Hill F. I'm going to talk about Silent Hill F, I guess, right now, a little bit. I just don't really understand why Silent Hill. I just don't think... I don't think it needed to be Silent Hill. I think... well, I know why, because it wouldn't have sold anything if it didn't have the Silent Hill name on it. It could have been something. It could have been like... Oh, come on. It's a Japanese like aesthetic game. Horror... with a girl in a school outfit. Like, that gamers eat that shit up for breakfast. Could have named it like fucking Hypertension or something better than that, and it would have sold plenty of copies. It probably wouldn't have made as much money as if you put Silent Hill, but it would have made probably a lot of money, and then you could have done your own thing. But like, Silent Hill F is just so lame, and it's like really polarizing, and it's really sad when you go online when a very polarizing game comes out for a series that really needed a game, like Metroid. It's like Metroid Prime, like really needed a game. And then the game comes out and it's just really not that good. And then there's like half of the people are like, they're like, oh shit, I don't think this game is very good. And then the other half of the people are like toxically positive. They're like, it's Metroid, guys! That's really sad. And I got to see that in real time playing Silent Hill F, where I was just like, I think this game is ass. And half of the people on Silent Hill were like, it would be like top post of the day. I fucking hate this mechanic in Silent Hill F, and all the people venting their frustrations. And the next day is, top post. I don't understand all the hate for Silent Hill F. And, like, it's just, that's what happens for about 2 months. That is a depressing place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of conversation about Silent Hill F. Just a lot of the podcasts that I listen to happen to cover it. And it really is all across the board. Some people love it, some people hate it. I do think you are the person who hates it the most out of anyone I've heard talk about the game. But not because you were toxic about it, but because you genuinely just have so many problems with it. And that just is so interesting to me.
I just really... You know what? And also, this is another thing. And I think I'm really, really tough on it because this is very similar to Warm Monkey, but I kind of feel like I got fucking duped. When the reviews were coming out for this game, I'm looking at the reviews right now. 8, 9.5, 9.5, 9, 90, 9, 9. Fucking... I'm like Hitler in that one movie. You know what I'm talking about? He's pounding on the desk. He's like, 9, 9, 9. They're all 9s. 9.5 out of 10. You 95 out of 100 score. You're telling me someone... Time. I cannot fathom the idea of someone playing this game and being like, fuck, I love this game so much that it is almost perfect when there is... And I'm like not even fronting right now. I'm not even like trying to like be facetious or anything. There's like literal objective issues with the game where it's like if something was just created wrong or inefficiently. The design of a significant chunk of the game is, I almost could be scientifically proven to be bad. I'm dead serious, and there's so people, scathing. there is reviewers, there's publications that were like, this game is 9.5 out of 10. I've liked games much more and given them a lower score than a 9.5 out of 10, and I was like, oh shit, universal praise. I have to play this game when it comes out, and I just feel like I want to know where the fuck these people were. Like, it almost feels like they were bought. How is every publication, not a single publication gave it lower than like a 7 and was like, I think they fucked up. There's like a couple of 7s, but it's mostly like almost perfect scores. And I just can't believe Tech Radar is the closest thing to, I think they fucked up. And they gave it a 3 out of 5. How did no one else... Like, I'm available. Get me on these publications. I'll give you the realest shit. Make me anonymous. That's what these motherfuckers should be doing. I don't want to hear review from like John Gamerman makes his whole career is publicizing these games, and if he's too critical, he's gonna get blacklisted from all the mega corporations that need their products sold. They should make me anonymous. Have random fucking people on the street. Fucking like Joe Schmo, me, has posted this review. This is the official Tech Radar review by Joe Schmo, me. And he says this game, I think they fucked up.
I want to reel you in slightly. I feel like
I'm done. I'm reeled in. I'm in.
No. I feel like you're wading into Gamergate territory, and I need to reel you back in.
What do you mean?
I thought
isn't Gamergate like a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, no, it's just like the toxic gamer in you is coming out a little bit. I don't think that reviewers get blacklisted for giving negative scores. I really don't think that happens.
I don't think so either, but this is the type of shit that makes me feel like that happens. I just can't believe not like one person, like from an official source, not an official source, but like, I don't know. This game isn't really publicized very much, I guess. Like in a lot of games that are kind of very polarized, you go to reception and it has like, these are the things that people liked, and here's what the critics say. You know, you like, I don't know, Last of Us 2. Even Last of Us 2 has that, where it's just like, you know, that's kind of an extraneous circumstance because of what happened with Last of Us 2. But most games that are very polarizing kind of have like an addendum that's like, these are all the things that like people really didn't really like. Like this guy from this publication said that the game is like duty stinky doo doo, and that's just not here. And I just like, I feel like I'm fucking going crazy. You know what I mean? That's the point of the category. Category is literally, I feel like I'm wrong, but like, I know I'm not. I know I'm You know, this is again a subjective opinion, but there were some things in that game where I just like, this is not correct, and everyone knows it. Even the people who are like, I love this game, like, you know, the Reddit defenders who are like, I love this game so much, or will have like a. That's how I know that this is fucked up. That's how I know that the game has a real problem. Is when toxic positive people online even bring up I didn't really like the pacing for the end though. That's how I know we're fucked.
Yeah, I it's interesting. I feel like I'm watching you descend into madness over this game, and I feel really bad about it.
If you played Silent Hill F, it would actually be a very apt mirror of the actual story of the game, frankly. So honestly, this is really my curse, I think. I think this is gonna if anyone played Silent Hill F, and I kind of know who listens to these, and I don't think any of you did, but like, if on the off chance someone wanders off the highway and finds this decrepit shack of a podcast and listens to us long enough to get to this point, and they play Silent Hill F, they're probably like, oh, this is really ironic. That's funny. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I fucking can't stand it, man.
Oh man, I really do feel bad. It's like watching your friend just have a really tough time.
I paid full price twice. I paid full price twice because I ordered. Fuck. Let's talk about GameStop real quick. RQ. I didn't put my apartment number in my old place. I forgot to put my apartment number. And the GameStop delivery. I have no idea if UPS or FedEx or USPS. I don't know how they fucked this up, but they were like, there's a big mailbox. I'm on the 4th floor. There's a big mailbox on the ground floor for every apartment in the building, and there's plenty of packages just left there. The dude who was delivering my Steelbook pre-order GameStop exclusive copy of Silent Hill F saw that he had the right address, but he didn't see the apartment number, and then looked at the big thing of mailboxes with all the other packages and said, I guess I can't deliver it. And he didn't deliver it. And then he returned it back to the factory. He returned it back to the packager. So I couldn't even like call up GameStop and be like, hey, can you, I didn't put the address down correctly. I didn't put my full address. I didn't put my apartment number, which is like one number. Can you just like update that and send it back? I'm like, no. It has to come all the way back to the distributing, to the GameStop distributing area in like Texas, and then you're gonna get a notification that we got it, and then you can decide whether you want a refund or another copy. That didn't happen. It never got back to the redistributing plant or wherever the fuck it was going. First of all. Second of all, I wanted to play that game so bad. I was already $70 down because I pre-ordered it, and then it didn't show up. And I said, fuck, I want to play this game so bad. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go to Best Buy, and I'm going to get a copy right now, and then I'll return one of the copies. I'll just return my Best Buy copy when I get my Steelbook. I buy the game, I do that, and then the Steelbook doesn't show up, and I'm $70 down in the hole, and I'm calling up, and I'm like, hey, I don't think it's going to get back to the plant. I think the package is lost. And they're like, oh, you need to wait another like couple of weeks for us to mark it as lost. It took me like 2 months to get a refund on my
I was really worried
Steelbook.
that wasn't going to end with a refund. So, frankly, this is the best possible ending.
It is the best possible ending. But I really kind of did want my Steelbook.
Yeah, it's a cool Steelbook. It's got cool art. Fuck GameStop, just in general.
Yeah, I don't really... yeah, it was weird. I don't know what was up with
I
that.
started boycotting GameStop when they closed down Game Informer. I haven't bought anything from them since, and frankly, I don't miss it at all. I haven't had a single thing where I'm like, damn, I could really get that at GameStop right now.
I can't stand being in a GameStop. I can't.
It makes me feel gross.
Last time I went to a GameStop, it was Monster Hunter Wilds pre-order, and I was like, it was just an oppressive atmosphere. And I don't know if I think it's just my problem because I used to spend so much time in a GameStop, but like I went in there and I just felt small. I felt like an ant that could be crushed at any moment. It was not good.
Yeah, fuck GameStop. But don't fuck games. Let's talk about our top 10 lists or top 5 lists.
I could fuck a game, like if I could fuck a game, I would. And I think one of them is going to be on this list.
There are a lot of games I would marry, and there's a lot of games I would kill. I don't know about fuck.
But let's talk about the games we would fuck.
Real quick, RQ, potty break.
Okay.
All right, here we are. Top 5 of 2025.
Huge.
So we're going to go back and forth, 5, 5, 4, 4, etc. Jonathan, I want you to start off.
This is games that came out in 2025, correct?
Yes, games that came out in 2025, and games that you played in 2025 will be later.
Okay. I will start at number 5. Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, mine will be a little short. It's a game we already spoke about today. It has to go to Donkey Kong Bonanza. I really, really enjoyed it. I love Donkey Kong. I remember when it got revealed this year. Yeah? Wasn't it revealed this year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I was living in an apartment. Field. Yes. It was this year. And I was floored. And I could not wait to get my hands on it. And as soon as I did get my hands on it, I played the shit out of it. And, you know, again, it has that problem philosophically, but I really liked it. It was grand old fun. I liked being the monkey. I like those callbacks to the series. Kind of rewarded you for being a fan in a way. Was no Donkey Kong Country, but it was fun. It was and it reminded me of two very, very good things, which is Donkey Kong Country and Mario Odyssey. So for that reason, Donkey Kong Bonanza for me is my number 5.
You make me sick.
Oh, get out of here! Get out of here!
Yeah, Donkey Kong looks fantastic. That's what I'll give you. I really like the new design for Donkey Kong, and I like that they paired him up with Pauline. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
All right, my number 5. Bear with me now. It is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Star-Crossed Worlds. That is the official title of this video game.
Is this what we're doing?
This is what we're doing.
All right.
This is it's new to me. I never played the original, and the new Switch 2 content is completely baked in, and it runs and looks so fantastic on Switch 2. I think that this is a must-get for anyone with a Switch 2. It's the best Kirby game, hands down, not even close. It's a really good 100%. I had a fantastic time getting all the collectibles in this game, and it just kind of redefines what Kirby can be. It's not like a kid's game, you know? That's what Kirby normally is. It's a game for kids that adults can enjoy. This is like a game for everyone. And it kind of floored me how many unique ideas it had and how it executed on all of them. Not just like new copy abilities, but new ways to navigate the world. The boss fight style is very modern, very Souls-like, I might even say. And overall, I think it's one of the better Nintendo offerings from this year.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the Dark Souls of Kirby.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is.
This motherfucker called me up. Didn't do that. But, metaphorically, Jake called me up. I wrote on our notes, I said, can we maybe do 3 for the top 2025? Because I don't really have much to say. That's what I said. And then he said, no, we're going to do 5. And I said, yes, sir. And then this motherfucker brings out a game from 2022. Wild shenanigans from this guy.
Okay,
but listen, I will say, you're right. Now, you're right.
You want to know? Okay, first, I think this game is getting and deserves to get a second life on Switch 2. For all intents and purposes, this game is completely new. I mean, it ran like pretty shit on the Switch 1, and it like runs good now. It looks good now. The new content is some of the best content in the game. I genuinely think of this as a new game, a new package. I don't really have to justify it. Can I let you know, though, that I did debate putting it on the list, and if it wasn't on the list, Look Outside would have made the list.
Oh!
Look
you shouldn't have told me that. You shouldn't have said that. You really shouldn't have said that. That was actually something you should have kept to yourself. At what point did you think telling me that would have been a good idea? That's crazy.
I know that it's probably your number 1.
That's crazy, dude. Oh my lord. All right. I fell in love with this Kirby game, and it made me buying the Switch 2 worth it. I've been having a hard time justifying my Switch 2. Kirby made it all worth it. Because, Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland is the first game I ever beat. I've played almost every Kirby game. I have so much nostalgia for Kirby, but I don't really think that he's ever had a good game. And the fact that this is a good Kirby game that finally redeemed him in my eyes, it ran flawlessly, it looked visually incredible, the levels were fun to navigate, the abilities were fun to use, the mouthful mode would never overstate its welcome, the post-game content is almost perfect.
it really is just the complete package that made me love my Switch 2.
You know what I'm gonna do? Whatever your number 1 is, I'm gonna say that it would have been my number 5 if not for Super Mario Galaxy 2. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, fine. That's fine.
And your number 4, sir?
My number 4 is debatable, but I'm really, really liking it. It's Elden Ring Night Rain. This is a weird game, man. We're gonna have to probably do an entire episode on Elden Ring Night Rain. But this is a weird game.
I'm surprised it came up above Donkey Kong for you. So you're really enjoying it a lot then.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 4 and 5 might be a little interchangeable, but I really, I love Souls, the Souls series. I've been waiting for kind of like a roguelike, kind of like Dark Souls kind of game where you can like jump in and test all these different abilities and builds and shit like that for a while, because all the Dark Souls games are long. Doesn't really suit like jump in gameplay and experiment just for like the fun of it, unless you're willing to spend like hundreds of hours playing like the same game, which a lot of people are, and I've done when I was younger too. But these From Software games are just getting longer and longer. So when this game came out and they were like, we're gonna make the gameplay just really good, it makes me want, like, I like the classes, I like the character classes and shit like that, and the core gameplay loop so much that I kind of wish it was in a single player game. I wish I could pick any of these like Nightfarers and go into and play like a Dark Souls. I wish I could play Elden Ring as like one of these Nightfarers, basically. That's what I wish I could do.
Yeah, and like the single player experience in this game is not great, so I don't know how successful that would be, but it's really fun. I'm still kind of up in the air on it. I know we're like more than halfway done with it in terms of bosses, maybe not post game bosses, but I still I don't know how I feel about it. I'm having trouble really locking into it like I did with base game Elden Ring. I think I keep comparing it a lot to Elden Ring, but really fundamentally it's a very different game.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a weird game, and it's totally esoteric, and like what is happening. You'll just be playing the game, and then you'll get a thing that says like, "Whoa, swarm of locusts upon thee," and you just have no idea what's going on, and then it's gone, and then you'll never see it again. You just have no idea how to deal with it, and then you look it up. I mean, this game does will likely require you to do some research, which is not always the sign of a good game. But I still fuck with it. I like all the callbacks. Is it kind of a huge asset flip? Yeah, but it feels good. This is probably the best combat in a Souls game, period, I would say. Because there's actual, like, real combat. I think everyone's gotten so used to, maybe I'll take this back when we're, like, really done with it and we'll have, like, a little retrospective, but, we're all used to the R1, R2, dodge gameplay. This game is really different in that every character has like builds and special abilities and a passive and an ultimate. And I feel like the next Souls game, like whatever comes out, could benefit from it. I really do. I think they've made a really good decision here. And I think Duskbloods will probably have that DNA in it, if I were to guess.
Yeah, I do like the addition of the abilities and the character classes. I think it takes away what made Elden Ring special, but again, it's not going for Elden Ring, it's going for its own thing. And for what it is, I think it's very well diversified, it's very well balanced, and I do really enjoy the use of the abilities in this game. So yeah, it's definitely a standout.
Yeah, I really like it. It's like, this is my type of like, it's kind of like Overwatch-esque abilities, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it is. But and I love like hero shooters that have I like the concept of hero shooters. I don't like playing hero shooters. But when I first started playing Overwatch when I was 16, I kind of did fall in love with like the design aspects, and like all these characters are so totally different, and they have like not only is their major aspects different, but also there's minor aspects for each character that's different, that makes every character like truly unique. And I really like that, as opposed to, I don't know, PvP and Elden Ring, where it's like kind of going to be very similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they have good ideas for the abilities too. Like,
Yeah.
Like I've been playing Guardian, and Guardian's special shield move, it like completely changes the way you approach every encounter in the entire game. And then, like the Recluse, I mean, the entire gameplay system of the Recluse could be its own game. Like it's so vastly
it's
different
so
from
good.
anything.
Yeah, and I really think the only character that's probably genuinely bad is the Executor. I think the Executor is actually really fucking horrible. The stats aren't good. Their preferred weapon, there's only like a couple of them. Their passives and active ability are not good. In a game where you benefit from killing things as fast as possible, baiting parries it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So Executor probably actually ass of a class. That's why I've always seen every Executor I've seen in gameplay, including me, choke every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised there's so little characters. I hope we get another content drop at some point. But we
I
still
feel
have
like there's a
to get
lot.
There is a
I
lot.
feel like there's a lot of characters, actually.
But I feel like the characters are the most interesting part. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot to do with them.
But
Maybe when you get through all those remembrance quests, you'll be like, thank God, there's not more.
All right. So my number 4 is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I was talking to you about this maybe like last week, that I felt a little guilty talking about this game because I haven't finished it yet. But
You've been glazing this game all year and it's not your number 1? That's wild.
I started playing it like a month ago. But
You've been glazing this game for a month.
Yeah.
It felt like all year.
I feel like it has the potential to be number 1, but there's so much left that I just haven't even begun to get close to experiencing.
You did say that, yes.
I have around 50 hours in the game, and I just got to there's 2 open worlds. I just got to the second one. I did every single thing that you could do in the first area before I even got to the second main quest, because it is the most immersive game of all time. It is so successful at putting you in a character's shoes. There are entirely too many systems to talk about why I love them all so much, but the fact that every time I play the game, I learn something about a system that has been working the entire time, and it makes me realize how I can take advantage of it and be better at a certain thing. Every time I play this game, I have a mind-bending experience working through all the RPG systems. So, for example, I decided to lean into being a little sneaky boy for a little bit. That's not my overall game, but I've been like a thief. And you have to shower or people will smell you when you're trying to sneak around.
Awesome.
However, if you jump into mud and get dirty, it's harder to see you at nighttime. But my horse is not very good at walking through mud, so if I want to get to a muddy area, I have to walk there, and it takes forever to walk there. And while I'm walking there, I have to be wearing the clothes that I'm going to wear whenever I want to be muddy so I can sneak into somewhere. But those clothes are not very good in terms of keeping me safe from swords, and this area is filled with bandits. So I have to sneak in to be better at sneaking. And then when I get out, I discovered like 3 points of interest and a side quest that all intermingle. And that's just like one little section of the map. That's probably one of the biggest open worlds I've ever actually tackled. There's so much, but it's all so... It sings when it works together. Everything blends and makes it feel so real, despite being very video gamey. Like, I'm sitting there playing a minigame to bang out a horseshoe on the anvil as a blacksmith for like 10 minutes, just so I can flip it and sell it for some money. But that levels up 3 or 4 different skills. Like now I'm better with hammers because I'm a blacksmith. So I can hit someone with a hammer and their helmet flies off and then they fall over collapsed. I cannot talk about this
Have you ever seen... Oh shit,
way.
have you ever seen the video where like the woman is getting... That reminds me. You ever seen the video where the woman is getting like robbed on the street with her purse? This is a scripted video, it's not real. She's getting her like purse snatched and the guy like sees her purse getting snatched and she's like help! like, thief! And the guy, like, zooms on his face, and it's a flashback of him in the gym, like, lifting, and then he, like, just starts lifting in place and not chasing after the guy. He's like, I've been training for this, and he starts, like, curling weights or some shit like that. That's what I thought about when you were talking about the horseshoe story. It's like, you're fucking, you get into combat, and you're like, I've been training for this. You start hammering out a horseshoe.
It kind of feels like that in some ways, because a lot of the skills that you develop don't really make a lot of sense. Like, there's a whole stat, like Elder Scrolls style leveling, where the more you do it, the higher level you get and the more perks you can unlock, just for getting drunk. And there's just free wine everywhere. So anytime I walk into a town, I just get like shit-faced and then walk up to someone and talk to them. And because I'm drunk, I level up my social stats faster. So I can like convince them to haggle or whatnot and just level up a bunch of stuff and then pass out and wake up the next day and everyone's in love with me. That's like a genuine strategy of how you can make money and like unlock side quests and stuff.
Man.
It's really, really fun to just live in this world and go around questing.
I'm glad that they've had a comeback, because I remember when Kingdom Come 1 came out, and it was kind of, I don't really know exactly how to word it. I think it was pretty polarizing in its reveal. I think the realism and the depth of a lot of its mechanics kind of like fell over itself for a lot of gamers. And maybe it just came out at the wrong time. I think it came out maybe like 2018 or something like that. And I remember it being like a little clunky. So I am really, really happy that this one came out and people really, really like it. It makes me very happy.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend it enough. I will say it is very clunky. I don't think they fixed a lot of that. It has the worst menus I've ever seen. It is unbelievable how bad they are. So I won't harp on this for long, but just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you're on the screen where you're in your inventory and you're picking, say, your weapons, in the middle of the screen you have a big panel that's your inventory, and on the right it shows you like a little picture of your dude and what slot the weapon is going into. And then a few quick stats that show you like, oh, this is how much damage you'll do with that weapon. If you want to read a description of the weapon and if it has any special abilities and more specific stats about it, you click left on the left analog stick to pan the menu's camera to the left to see the panel that has that, and it gets rid of the panel on the right with the little picture. And there's no way to have all three of those on the same menu. And every menu is like that.
You know, sounds better than Base Oblivion.
Yeah, really. That's the comparison I was kind of thinking while I've been playing it, is like, I really didn't like Oblivion this time through, but I'm in love with this game, which is very clearly taking a lot of inspiration from Oblivion. I mean, it's not like, you know, swords and sorcery, it's more grounded medieval times, like there's no magic or anything. But in terms of the way the quests unfold and everything, it's very old Elder Scrolls. That's what it's going for. But I think the big difference and the reason why I'm in love with this one so much is that, well, first off, the leveling doesn't like make me want to rip my eyes out like Oblivion, but also the systems are so plentiful that whenever I get into a side quest, I have a million ways to take it on, whereas in Oblivion, you really don't have that much player agency as to how you're going to get out of a sticky situation, and most of the quests end with you just in a underground dungeon fighting and or sneaking past big monsters. That doesn't happen in this one.
Don't discount the dungeon experience.
There's no dungeons in Kingdom Come 2. There's no like elongated combat sections. You can go in, you know, guns blazing if you want, or you can talk your way out of things, or you can sneak, or you can immersive sim it and like find out what these people's routines are, poison their wine before they go to bed. There's a lot of branching paths for every single side quest that I was looking for in Oblivion and I was not finding.
Isn't it funny how we have overthrown Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls comparison, and now we're just talking about fucking Oblivion?
Well, you know, whenever Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, even if it's dog shit, that'll be the one people talk about, so.
Very true. Very true. I just think it was weird that I know Oblivion came out this year. The new Oblivion remaster came out this year. But talking about Oblivion more than Skyrim, freaking me out.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a soft spot for Skyrim. I think it fixes a lot of that Oblivionisms in that there's a lot more ways you can tackle objectives, but a lot of it still does end with you in an underground dungeon fighting big spiders. So that part is not really fixed.
just the average gameplay experience. That is gaming right there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not my favorite thing about Elder Scrolls. So I think a game without that and gives me a lot more chance to talk my way out of things is what I was looking for. And that's what I'm getting from Kingdom Come.
Understandable, frankly.
So tell me about your number 3.
Number three is Repo.
Repo.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like Repo. I think it's really good. A lot of the big releases this year are excluded from this list because I just felt like there was such massive flaws with them. Even though even though Monster Hunter Wilds came out and had $1 billion of development behind it and all these people and all these sales and hype, I somehow have less controversial things to say about Repo than Monster Hunter Wilds. I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds has some insane fucking problems with it that I'm like, I can't believe they put that in the game. But I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds is a really, really good game. Repo, however, makes my heart warm and fuzzy in a way that games like Monster Hunter Wilds and Doom: The Dark Ages cannot do.
Okay, so I've only played Repo for probably like a total of an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know much about it. What is
Are you not the one who's been playing with Repo?
I've only played Repo like 2 or 3 times ever.
Oh man, imagine Lethal Company, but like they finished it and then they made the gameplay like good and fun, and not just entirely reliant on like jump scare, proximity chat funny. Like there's an actual game where you can play and it's like fun. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what Repo is.
What sets it apart from like Peak or Lethal Company, to your point, besides it just having more content? Because I didn't really find it that much different from Lethal Company, but I also didn't play it a lot, so.
Yeah, it's way more polished. Lethal Company just had, like, you go through these really bland areas and pick up these heavy objects and you drag them back to your ship. It takes forever. It's really tedious. And there's really no way around the tedium. Repo, there is a way around the tedium. By playing efficiently, by playing with people, and by being smart about what you're doing, it gets rid of the tedium. And instead you feel like a gang of well-oiled machines, as it were, because you are little robots. First of all, let's also talk about this, now that we're talking about the robots. I mean, the game just looks much better. Visually, the game actually looks like a game and not like an unfinished asset dump that won't be ever done. Not really music to speak of, but there is a lot of different areas to explore, like a lot of different variety of zones to explore, not just like factory. You ever notice how in Lethal Company, like you can be on all these different planets, but you always have to go into like a factory, which is really weird. There's no instance of that. There's no like, I land on a planet and then there's like a buffer zone between me and the place where the gameplay happens. You just instantly are brought into the gameplay. So the areas are easier to navigate. They have more stuff to find. They're better designed. The monsters, there's a lot more of them, and they actually have tactics surrounding them. Instead of Lethal Company just running away, or I don't know, like standing still, or you have to look at this enemy to not, like you can actually hide effectively under cabinets or in like a chest or something. There's like real hiding, not just running. Enemies do lots of different things. Some enemies will just insta-kill you if you get touched by it. Some enemies will deal damage to you maybe, or like infect you with like a virus that makes you like throw up on your companions. So you kind of have to like isolate them and be like, get away from me. Like you're not allowed to touch anything until you're cured. There's an enemy. It's crazy. This was, I was like, oh, these guys are smart. They know what they're doing. There's an enemy in Repo. He's the Invisible Man. And all he does, he walks around and you hear his like footsteps. He sounds like he's naked. You can't see him because he's invisible. But you see, like you feel.
Sounds like he's naked.
He sounds like he's naked because he's like bare footsteps. Footsteps and boots sound different than bare feet. You know what I mean? So you feel there's like these bare feet sounds like walking near you. You can kind of see the footsteps. And if you somehow like, I don't know, exacerbate it or something like that, he picks up your guy. Doesn't do any damage to you, but he'll pick you up and drag you to like an unoccupied corner of the map in like a basement or in like a corridor in a dead end or something, and the entire time he's like laughing in your ear. So there's two perspectives. There's a dude who gets picked up by the Invisible Man, who gets this insane laughing in his ear, and he's getting dragged away from his companions and then dumped in a really dark basement away from all of his friends. On the flip side, there is the people who did not just get captured by the Invisible Man. All of a sudden, you see your friend get picked up, and your friend go, wait, where am I going? Where am I going? And then they get dragged away as their proximity chat slowly fades out, and then you look at each other, and you're two little dinky little funny robots, so you look hilarious, and you just go, oh shit. It's really fun. It's awesome. Yeah. I like Repo. I think it's really good. I think they actually saw Lethal Company and they said, this game kind of sucks. I can make it better. And they did.
Cool. I didn't realize you liked it so much. I'm glad. We should play it soon.
We should play it again sometime soon, and then you can kind of see what I mean. That it's like, I mean, you might have to fucking remind yourself what Lethal Company was. I really like Lethal Company, but like a lot of the charm was the discovery of like what the game has to offer. And then once you play probably like maybe 10 hours, you get all the funnies out. You kind of see everything that there is to offer. It's done. The actual gameplay is not fun.
Yeah, I never really enjoyed playing Lethal Company. I did think Repo was much better than it.
Yes, because then you're already in the same school of thought.
Yeah, I also like the store in between levels where you get to blow everything up. That was incredibly fun.
There's the store with all those items that actually do things, upgrading your characters, like landmines. You can kill the fucking enemies for real and not just rely on like I don't know, what was it, the shovel?
The shovel
in
or
Lethal
the stop
Company
sign.
that didn't work. Doesn't work. Dumb.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's play it like this week.
Okay.
Pencil it in. My number 3 is Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
What the fuck is gonna be number 1? I don't even
Number
know.
1 may surprise you.
Oh god.
I really like Expedition 33. I can't wait to see what this team does next, because this might be the best example of for all intents and purposes, indie dev. This is one of those AAA studio dev opens up and tries to make a AAA game, except they didn't fumble it like all the other ones do. They had a very specific vision, which was to modernize the traditional PS1 JRPG, and they did it. They had such a specific idea of the tone, the gameplay feel, the visuals, the sounds, everything. It all works together. It's just very intentional, and you can feel the creator's vision at every moment. It has an excellent character-driven story with really good voice acting, which is shockingly not that common for JRPGs. Who would have thought?
Oh man.
And it realizes this story in some problematic ways, but overall, I think the themes and the plot itself do a lot to connect you with these characters, but the characters themselves are just so strong. It reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy 16 in that way, where even whenever the story may be lacking, the characters are so well written and acted that it can keep you pushing through until you get to some of the better parts. And then there's that combat system. I don't really think that the dodging and parrying is all that revolutionary. A lot of people are talking about it being the next big thing. I don't think it adds as much as it seems to add. It's very fun. It makes it so you can do a JRPG turn-based battle with skill involved, in that if you time everything right, you could take 0 damage. But that means that overall the battles are very hard. Like if you just went into this game and you had like Final Fantasy VII Classics combat system and no dodging and parrying, you get wiped out in like 3 turns. So you do have to get... What's that?
I said swag, okay.
Yeah. So you do have to get good at it and engage with it. But the real meat and potatoes of the combat in this game is the turn-based battles. Like this is probably the best turn-based battle system I've ever interfaced with. It has, for all intents and purposes, the materia system, but on crack. So imagine this. If you get a materia that makes it so you do 50% more fire damage, if you use that ability for 4 battles, you unlock that skill permanently, and then you can give that materia to another character, and then they'll unlock it eventually. And you just keep stacking and stacking all of these passive abilities to the point where by the time I was finished with this game, every turn that a character had, they took 2 turns. They stacked like 50 stacks of fire or defense down or whatnot. And then you would be able to pass to the next character who has an ability that takes advantage of that status effect. You could blow them all up at once and do like 9,999 damage. And then towards the end of the game, they release that cap and you can do millions upon millions of damage at once. And the game doesn't always scale well to fit that. There's a lot of battles that became trivial towards the end.
Okay.
But that's also an option that you can turn off, so you can still have a decent challenge the whole way through. But it's very fun because you can make what I have been lovingly referring to as super builds. So every character plays completely unique, and I know that that's a thing in a lot of JRPGs, but I'm not that well versed in a lot of the classic ones, so I don't know how different this is. But every character has a very in-depth and unique combat system. So for example, the main character, she has an ability where if you do certain moves, then your character gets put in a defensive stance for the rest of the battle until you do another move that puts you into an attack stance or a different stance. That they all have different abilities. And you kind of have to maneuver by planning not your attacks just for what damage you want to do or what status effect you want to put on the enemies, but also what stance you want to end up in so that your other characters can give you certain buffs or so that enemies can't give you certain debuffs. Then there's another character that has a Devil May Cry style ranking system on the side of the screen at all times. And the better you do, the higher that rank gets. And certain abilities can only be used at certain ranks or unlock special abilities at certain ranks. So sometimes you want to be shitty at the beginning so you can stay at D tier so that your ability that costs a lot gets 3 times as damage because you're at D tier. Or sometimes you want to get to S rank as soon as you can because you have an ability that lets you like fast forward the battle at S rank or something like that. So they're all very different. But with these materia skills, they're called Pictos and Luminas, but they're basically just materia skills. You can stack all 3 of your characters in the party to come up with a singular strategy of, say, I'm going to put this person into this stance. While she's in this stance, she gets 3 times as much defense or whatever. So all my other characters are going to have abilities that give her extra defense. Then I'm going to use an ability that explodes all of those layers of defense at once to deal damage, and it's going to be a nuclear bomb that like destroys even the hardest of bosses. It's very, very fun to experiment in this game, and that's why I love it so much.
Imagine saying that whole speech to your stepdad.
I know.
Imagine saying that whole speech to a dude who just finished playing Half-Life in 1997.
This game would, like, if I showed this game to someone who just finished playing like Final Fantasy VI for the first time on their SNES back in the day, and then they played this next, they would probably go into a comatose state. Their brain wouldn't be able to handle it.
I agree. Well, I'm even more excited to play it. I'm either going to play Dispatch or Expedition 33. Like, as soon as I'm done finishing that last challenge in Last of Us No Return.
Oh my god.
I did it. I completed all the challenges. I'm just like 1 down. And that honestly wasn't very...
Yeah. I think that this game could go either way for you. I really do. Because it leans very heavily into classic Final Fantasy and modern Final Fantasy. And the combat system, I think, is very well thought out and experimental, but it's not very traditional, which I know you're a big fan of. So I think it could go either way, but I do think you'll enjoy the story regardless.
I'm fine. I like it when things are good.
Yeah, fair enough.
I say smugly, with no ounce of irony.
All right, what are we on now? Number 2? What's your number 2?
My number 2. My number 2. I'm not going to talk about it once again. It's Kirby Air Riders. Loop back to when I talked about Kirby Air Riders for High School Sweetheart. Really, really good. Really good. The only thing I really probably wasn't the best was some parts of Road Trip, which was the single player mode. Otherwise, this was probably like, this is a wish fulfillment game for me. Really, really liked it. Loved it even. Loved it dearly.
That is so crazy to me. I just would not have expected that.
Expect the unexpected. And I'm sure you won't guess what number 1 is. What was your number?
My number 2 was also a racing game. It was Mario Kart World. I'm tired of pretending.
Talk about this one long either.
I am so tired of pretending like Mario Kart World is not a really good game just because it's not as good as Mario Kart 8.
I don't even agree with that sentiment. I don't know who you're talking to that's saying that.
That is like the discourse, which, you know, is always toxic, so who really cares? But I just feel like Mario Kart World came and went because people said, well, this isn't as good as the last one that I already played for 300 hours, so I'm not going to play any more of it. And I'm kind of guilty of that too, but just as a Mario Kart game, as a game, it's near flawless. Except for all the optional content that's really bad, but that's why it's optional, right?
Elaborate. You're talking about the world, the open world?
But yeah, I think the open world is probably the worst part of the game.
I liked it.
I think it's entirely unnecessary. I had no fun.
I mean, yeah.
I did the P-switches, I did the princess coins, I found it very dull.
Well, you did all of them?
Not all of them, because I wasn't having any fun, but...
Oh, okay, yeah. I just kind of, like, just fucked around. And if I found them, I found them. If I didn't, I didn't. And I was just, like, having a great time. I just listened to, like a crime podcast, and I was like, this is good. It's good.
Yeah, I don't know. But, again, I didn't really interface with it much, because I was too busy playing all the races, and the courses they're top tier. They're impeccable. I don't think any of the tracks are boring, which Mario Kart 8 has some stinkers. I don't think Mario Kart World really has any stinker tracks. I think they're all about the same level of quality. The music is fantastic. It just gives you that fun vibe. The visuals are so pleasant. I like all the new items. I wish there was a few more, but I like them all. I like all the new characters, the costumes. Everything about this game is just like pure fun injected into my spinal cord. I never had a boring time playing the races themselves. From start to finish, every race was thrilling, and that's all you can really ask for a kart racer, I think.
You heard it here first, folks. Jake the Racist, expert on races.
Let's relax.
Whoa, what's going on, huh?
Also,
what's the problem? Yep.
Knockout Tour.
I like Knockout Tour.
Best new game mode they've introduced since Balloon Battle.
I agree. Is Balloon Battle even in this game? I think it is.
I think it is.
I remember.
I didn't really play
I remember. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not as good as Mario Kart DS Balloon Battle, but that's alright.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Knockout Tour. I don't like it as much as just standard races, but to change up the formula, and that's the game I found myself getting online and playing against randoms for this year was Knockout Tour.
That was my Air Riders, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could live in Mario Kart World for a really long time. There's a lot to do. You know, the single player is fine, but just playing the game, the act of racing is probably one of the best experiences I had this year.
The NPCs are really big and it scares me.
Yeah, they are really big. Obscenely big. Did you get abducted by the UFO?
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, funny little things like that happen sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't mind the straightaways, the roads between the courses. I don't really mind them. I wish they weren't as samey, but a lot of the times I find myself just playing with the mode where you pick just courses and you do 3 laps on the same course, so it didn't really affect me all that much.
Oh yeah, no, I never even noticed half the time. I did kind of like a lot of the courses being like you go through one like big course instead of doing 3 laps. But I don't know, you know, some people don't like that.
No Baby
It's
Park
fine.
though, so bad game.
I was thinking about Baby Park right now.
All right, drum rolls please. Jonathan Kalala, what is your number 1 game of 2025?
It's Look Outside.
What?
I don't. When's the last? I don't think I had a game that was. I always have indie games as my number 1. Just keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean you know what you like.
I love paying dirt cheap for a better experience than something that's $70. Really, really my vibe these days. But yeah, I mean, Look Outside. It's just so good. I kind of can't believe it didn't get any sort of nomination for anything. If you're in 2025 in gaming, Look Outside isn't even anywhere on that page. And that's fucked up.
It's just I would have not. I wouldn't have heard of the game if you didn't tell me about it. It's super underground. There's no marketing whatsoever.
I don't even think. Yeah, there's no marketing. That's true. But I don't even think they sat underground. I think it's actually very popular online spaces. You just any like if you're like in any horror, or even on YouTube, if you like watch any like horror YouTubers or some shit like that, I think Look Outside, it will be on your radar. Fucking manly badass hero or whatever. I don't fucking know. Can't believe it.
I don't know. If I wasn't on the Look Outside subreddit, I don't think I would ever see Look Outside nowadays. I don't see anyone talking about it except for people whenever I seek it out. So I don't know. Maybe the game was made for you because that's what it sounds like.
Maybe. I don't know. I've seen a couple of different references of it like showing up and I'm like, whoa. So it's always a little bit of a jump scare. But goddamn, you know, I fucking love it. I love this game so much. You know, RPG with like real RPG mechanics, not like it was made in RPG Maker. And you know, like there's so many horror RPG Maker games. That's like a whole thing, you know. But this actually is like a RPG Maker horror game with RPG mechanics because it's like a full-blown RPG with like builds and party members, synergies and all this shit. Equipment it's like a real game. I played Fear and Hunger this year as well. That's not really an RPG. It was made in RPG Maker, and then you have like RPG menus. There's no real like RPG mechanics. This is a real RPG with level ups and shit and all this nonsense. You know what else is a fucking RPG Maker game? It's like Ebe or something like that. That's an RPG Maker game, not an RPG, unfortunately. I like Ebe. But, you know, like I said, Look Outside, really good game. And then it has really good art. And then it has really good music. And then it has a really good story. And then it's actually pretty frightening at points. I would say it's pretty scary. Very disturbing. More than anything. The dude who made this, Francis Columbe, I'm looking at him right now. He's very talented, and he very much knows what he's doing. He's very good at describing things. Lots of instances of like horror or the cutscenes will have like very elaborate and very detailed descriptions of what's happening, and I think they're all very powerful. And then on the flip side, you know, Look Outside is about this like horrifying cataclysm plaguing the world, and everyone is just thrown out of balance and now just like living together like in it and surviving. But it also has this really impressive tonal flip to it where Look Outside on the surface looks like, you know, everything sucks, everyone's dying, everyone's dead, everyone's a monster. And then you look further and it's almost the exact opposite. It's really shows the bright side of everything. It's actually a very optimistic game with how you can interact with everyone, and almost all these people who have been horribly mutated are actually like pretty chill, all things considered. And you do side quests for them, and they retain their sanity, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm a giant brain now, and I can teach you about mental status effects." I actually don't know anything about mental status effects, so I looked them up on my phone. It's a real thing.
It says here that illusion is, you know, I don't really know.
Yeah, that's basically what happens, and you know, like in the beginning of the game, you're like, "Oh shit, everyone's fucked. I'll never find a normal person again." And then you find normal people, not normal people. Everyone's kind of weird, but you find like people that you can like take care of. So it's kind of in a way, it's about like finding, like caring for people in like a horrible cataclysm. You know, looking in yourself and deciding that these disgusting creatures are actually all right people and they don't mean you any harm, and you can live with them no problem. It's very optimistic and also very horrifying and brutal at the same time. It's very impressive. The only other person I've seen do that flawlessly is Austin Jorgensen, which is the Dingaling. This is the dude who made Lisa the Painful. Really amazing at tonal shifts, because Lisa the Painful is very depressing, really sad subject matter about a drug addict who just is making the worst choice ever, and then it's paired with some of the funniest things that I've ever seen in video games. Just crazy funny shit.
Yeah, Look Outside it effortlessly balances the the happy and the grotesque. It's really great. Yeah. I also, for me, I really appreciated how much divergent gameplay there is, and how two people's playthrough is almost certainly going to be completely different, no matter what happens.
Yes, there's very little binary choices, like kill, don't kill, talk. Like, you usually have to actually interact with character in a certain way or find something. It's not really like, it's very well thought out. You guys actually do things. One of my favorite aspects of gameplay. Did you ever get? I'm sure you got it. Not a cowboy hat. Did you get not a cowboy hat?
Yes, I did.
Oh man. So for those who haven't played and who maybe don't want to know, there's a part in the game where you're in this zone, essentially, where there's this like painter, and he's like, there's mimics of me everywhere, and there's like all these mimics around my apartment, please kill them all. You're like, okay. So you go around this apartment, and there's like mimics everywhere, like shit copying other things, like copying the guy, and then you find this like random hat on a table, which really isn't that unusual, because that's where you find like all your equipment, just like on random places, and you can just pick it up, and that's actually a mimic. It's like a fake hat that transforms, but there's so many different ways that you can interact with that character. If you put the hat on, you get like mind controlled, and you have to do like a unique boss fight where you fight the protagonist with him not in the party. You have to use your 3 party members to fight the protagonist to get the control back. You could ignore the hat entirely, in which case when you leave the room, he will lose his disguise and run over to you and get mad at you. If you take the hat and put it in your bag and then don't do anything with it, eventually, after like enough time has passed, he'll jump out of your bag and be like, why aren't you putting me on? And he'll get really mad at you. And I think the funniest one is if you try to sell him. He's like, you tried to fucking sell me, and he's really upset about it. And then you can you can actually rage bait him. You can start like fucking with him, be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, you tried to sell me, I was there. Oh no. It's like, it's so unique. There's one instance where you can rage bait him. If you look at the hat and then don't pick it up, and then later he reveals himself and he's like, why didn't you pick me up, you weirdo? You even looked at me. And then you can lie and be like, no, I didn't look at you. And he goes, I was there. I saw you. You looked at me. And you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You like effectively rage bait him, and he has like unique dialogue to be like angry at you. It's awesome.
Did you feed the wall the rat child or your arm?
I fed the wall the rat child because I didn't realize that my arm wouldn't have mattered that much. So,
yeah.
Bye, rat child.
I did as well. I didn't want to lose my arm. You kidding me?
I didn't know what the rat child would do, so I was like, well, see ya. And I felt really bad about it. That's an instance of the game being really brutal. You feed the rat child, it's really sad and disgusting.
It is really sad.
And you feel bad. You're like, I regret this entirely.
Did you ever go back for another playthrough after the new update?
No, not yet. I was waiting to, because all the big updates came out in the middle of like holiday season, and I was moving, so I haven't played it yet, but I've seen so much. They've added so much shit. And, that's another sign of a really good game, is if you can look at, if you don't even have to play it, you just look at shit and you're like, I love this. I just want to just look at this all day. Mm-hmm. And they got, there's so many different endings. There's like a unique final boss for every ending. The dude who made this is on like cocaine, I think. I don't know how he did. He made so much game in so little time. I've seen AAA developers make less game for more money in more time.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably play Look Outside, and to finally experience everything that the game has to offer would probably take way longer than playing like God of War or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And low-key, it would probably fill you with much more feelings than God of War. Mm-hmm. Because also Look Outside I don't know, I think the message of Look Outside is really nice. I kind of thought that the game was going to be just like a pretty horrific horror game, but it really is about mercy and being a good person above all else. Like, Look at any aspect of this game, any screenshot, any video of this game, and then think about how the actual overarching message and theme of the game is that being a good person matters. It's really weird. And that's like a real thing too. It's not just like, oh, this is what I picked up from it. Like that is like a real thing about this game.
Yeah, and you can take a lot of different things from it as well, depending on how you interact with it, which I think is a sign of a really successful RPG.
Yeah, the dude, I think I don't know. I don't know how he did it. He must have really had a full vision on everything because I think he did it perfectly. You know, I think his vision is perfectly laid out in this project, like 100%. No contradictions, no hiccups, no nothing. It's just like this guy is like an artisan. He's like, I'm going to make this, and he did. And it just, everything was laid out, and every emotion he wanted you to feel was 100% lossless transferred onto you. I think it was, I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. We'll ship him the award in the mail.
Yeah, and then next year we'll see when that fucking chicken game that Porta Pizza's making. See what's going on there. Maybe that'll be game of the year 2026.
Probably. Oh, okay. Right. My game of the year. Number one.
Wuthering Waves.
Wuthering Waves. The Genshin Impact version 4.0. My game of the year is Monster Hunter Wilds.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Because it's a really good game with a lot of big problems. It is my least favorite Monster Hunter game, but it has the best weapons in the series.
This is true.
Every weapon is so much fun to play in Monster Hunter Wilds. There's no grind. They took away the grind. There's no friction. There's no real challenge. I don't love the fact that there's no home base. But whenever you put me in the room with a Gormagala and dual blades, or a hammer, or a longsword, I just can't get enough of it. I would sell my soul to have Monster Hunter Wilds combat be put into Generations Ultimate. Because it is it is a demonstrable step up in terms of how streamlined and unique and fun every weapon is in Wilds compared to World, compared to Rise. I miss a lot of things about Rise's combat, but frankly they're replaced by things that I like better. All the movesets got an upgrade. All the animations are so beautiful. And that's why Monster Hunter Wilds is my game of the year, despite me not really having a big desire to go back to it right now. There's more monsters to fight, but I'm kind of just waiting for the G rank to come out. There isn't much to grind for, but if you just drop me in that world and just let me hunt some monsters, I'm gonna have a really, really good time. Because the moment-to-moment combat is the best I've experienced in any action game. And yeah, it's weird for me to have a game of the year that I don't want to play, but the experience I had with Monster Hunter Wilds was so impactful and so memorable that it will go down as probably one of my favorite games of all time, despite it having some huge problems. And I think that's kind of beautiful, because I fell in love with it, and it fell in love with me.
This guy really said gameplay above all.
Yeah, I know, and I'm the story guy. It's odd for me to not ding a game for having a horrible shit story, which this game has. But I think playing Monster Hunter Wilds with a crew, with a new monster, the new monsters are really fantastic. It's just unlike anything else. It's crack. It's beautiful. I can't say it enough that I just think interacting with the monsters here, choosing your weapon, making a loadout, and just going out there and whooping the shit out of a big monster never gets old, but it's certainly the best here that it's ever been.
I do like the gameplay, I will say.
I'm sure that me and you have a lot of the same problems, but I just, I don't know. I can't fault the game.
We have an episode all about it.
Yeah, we do. We have a Monster Hunter Wilds review where we tear into it, but it's still my game of the year because it's just so damn fun.
You're, I'm actually fucking speechless. I actually don't even know what to say to you.
I know. I was looking at my list. I keep a list on the GG app all year. of the games that I play throughout the year, and I rank them as I go. And I took one last look at the list. I went and I played all of the games for just a couple minutes, just to kind of refresh myself, get a feel, put myself in the shoes of myself from March or whatever month I played the game. And when I went back to Monster Hunter Wilds, I just went out there, I started beating the shit out of a Dushagama with my longsword. And I just got all those feelings from whenever we were really into it when it first came out. And I had to move it up. I moved it up the list. I compared it to all the other games. I was like, is it really a better game than Expedition 33, which has the best story of the year? Is it really better than Mario Kart World, which has some of the best visuals of the year? Yes, it's better than all of those because I get to hit a big monster in the head with a big hammer, and it looks really cool.
That is actually... You can, in fact, do that. Can't do that in other games? No?
Not many.
Wow.
And the grind is not my favorite part of Monster Hunter, but I do miss it. And the challenge is not my favorite part of Monster Hunter, but I do miss it. And I'm sure we'll get it. I can't review or judge a game based on what it will be, but what it is. And what it is now is just an excellent combat system trapped in a flawed game that doesn't know what it wants to be, that tried to appeal to newcomers. And if you're a newcomer to Monster Hunter, this will get you hooked. And if you're an old head, you're going to bounce off of it, but the time that you spend in it is going to be fantastic.
I wish there was more, what was it called when they were on the Wyvern's Milk?
Oh, man. Wilk.
Remember Wyvern's Milk?
Oh, yeah.
What was it called? What are they called?
Guardian variations?
Yeah, I wish there was more Guardian variations.
Me too. No Elder Dragons. Well, I guess there's
like one.
There's Gogmazios now, but... Yeah.
Really weird that they dropped that now and not with the G rank.
Yeah, I mean, they've added a lot of monsters, so I really want to go back to it and clean them up, especially that Omega fight I've heard is pretty hard.
Yeah, Omega Planet Test.
Yeah. So yeah, I know that's a bit controversial, especially with Mr. Monster Hunter over here, but I had to speak my truth.
You know, you're just as Monster Hunter as me at this point.
I guess.
Not World, though.
Yeah, I like World.
You didn't even like World.
I like World.
Not what you said a while ago. No, eyebrows raised.
I like it. I think it's good. It's not my favorite, but it's good.
Well, maybe it'll be on our list for our 2025 backlog. It won't.
Ooh.
I was just segueing.
Yeah, we should have played a little bit of World leading into Wilds. We didn't do that.
We played Generations Ultimate.
Yeah.
Which is arguably better.
I don't have Generations Ultimate on my backlog list, but that's mainly because I have played a lot of it before in Generations, and I have a lot left to play.
Oh yeah, it's not on my list either.
But I did really enjoy our time with Generations Ultimate, and I'd give it as an honorable mention for my backlog.
Okay, swag, me too. I give it a swag mention.
A swag of the hat.
Yeah, it's a single swag of the hat.
All right. I guess I just talked a lot, so we'll start with you again. What is your number 5 game? And so just to lay down some ground rules for the audience, backlog, as in games that came out in 2024 or earlier. And just like last year, I took out all replays because I don't want it to be the same every year.
Yes.
And that's where we're at. So Jonathan, number 5 from your backlog. What we got?
Number 5. Halo? No, not Halo. I was gonna make a really bad joke. Number 5, Fallout 3. I was told this game was bad, but not true. It's really good. Whoever said this game was bad, wrong. Some snobbish dude on YouTube said Fallout 3 was really bad. Probably just because Fallout New Vegas is better. And be it as it may, Fallout 3 is still amazing. And I actually, playing it on Series X in modern day on the Xbox, it's kind of amazing that this game came out in 2008 or whenever it came out. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is really, really good. Really like it.
I believe it. I've never played it. I want to play it.
Oh, you gotta hop on.
Did you get... And you know, so comparing it to Fallout New Vegas, it's not quite there. Is that what I'm getting?
Comparing it to Fallout New Vegas, what do you? Is it not quite as good as Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played New Vegas since 2020, and like, to be honest with you, I would put them right now. I put them like side by side. I think they're both equally as good. Like, there's just as good of a reason to play 3 as there is New Vegas.
Did you get anything out of Fallout 3 as a result of playing Fallout 1 and 2, or is it still very divorced like it feels?
I did. I actually did. You got to see a lot of. I mean, you got to think about it in like, oh, this is the like the. You look at Fallout 2, and remember your playthrough of Fallout 2, and then start playing Fallout 3, and think about how gamers were seeing the world. There was a lot of the same philosophy and design present in Fallout 3, visually. So in Fallout 2 and 1, we saw these like pre-rendered locations and items and stuff like that, and now we're actually seeing them like in gameplay, like for real, and it looks really good. Well, I mean, you know, comparatively.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure, it's not like graphically the best game ever, but I mean, playing it on Series X, 1080p, 60 FPS, game looks really good. I was like, holy shit, is this how I remember it? Like, this is low-key how I remember games looking like when I was younger. And I know for a fact it didn't look like this. I played Left 4 Dead split screen on my cousin's launch Xbox over Thanksgiving, and I went, holy shit, this is how we play video games? The game ran at 15 frames per second the whole time. But I was like playing Fallout 3, and I was like, damn, this is how I remember playing it. This is really, really bizarre. And I haven't played it since I was probably 10 or something like that. Should not have been playing it that young.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it happens. So yeah, I think, you know, it's not required. There's a different, I would say it's a bit different in that you can tell that there's like, the writing went to a different place. It's more funny. I mean, yes. Fallout 2 and 1 to a certain extent, it's always been like pretty funny. But Fallout 3 is like very Bethesda gamey-ish, you know what I mean? Like wander around and like use like a little quest, and they're all really good. It's not like, you know, the Elder Scrolls is much more of quantity, much larger world. Fallout 3 is much less quests, but all of them are fully voice acted and go certain places and are interesting to see through, and usually have different endings. That's not really a thing in the Elder Scrolls. But you can. I really like Fallout 2, and I like Fallout 1 as well. But you can see the differences in ways that, like, it's really kind of tough to describe, actually. There's a couple of concepts that maybe you can pick up from playing the first two, like tribals. Like, they bring up like the tribals a lot, which is kind of like a Fallout 2 thing. But other than that, like, no, I would say you can just jump into Fallout 3 just immediately as it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad it holds up, because I feel like there's a need for Fallout right now, especially with the TV show.
Yeah, especially also with Oblivion's gameplay not really holding up. Play Oblivion, the launch Oblivion, which I also did this year. And you're like, damn, this was an early action RPG, and I can tell. And then you play Fallout 3, and you're like, damn, wait a minute, this is tight. This plays really well. Every time I shoot my gun, it actually fires and registers onto the enemy. Whoa, this is huge. That's like unheard of in those days. So yeah, and I did an unarmed build too, just for fun. And so I did like a bunch of melee weapons, and I was just running around with my power fists, and like I had a skill that called like paralyzing palm, where every time I did an attack in VATS, there was a chance to paralyze the enemy for 30 seconds. So I would just get into like these duels with these really tough enemies, paralyzing palm them, and then just like wail on them while they were down. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Also, I haven't laughed at a video game like this in a really long time. I haven't played a Fallout game in many years, maybe about 5 years or so. I was going to say longer, but I don't remember really much of my 2020 playthrough of New Vegas. It was a thing happened that year. And when I took Bloody Mess, every kill, hilarious. Like, I was drop dead laughing every time I killed something in Fallout 3 after getting that perk. It was so funny.
That sounds funny.
It was a good time.
I'm actually planning to play it this year. I wanted to touch it in 2025 because I was going through my Fallout stuff, and now the TV show's back. Mm-hmm. So I will be playing it if you could give me some some guidance when that happens. That'd be great.
Oh man, you won't even need it. The game plays like butter. You just kind of go and,
Cool.
and just play it. The game plays itself at a certain point. You're like, I don't even have to think.
I love that. I hate thinking.
Yeah, it's good. I hate thinking. In a good way. In a good way, you don't have to think. Not like, fuck, where am I supposed to go? You always know.
Cool. My number 5 is a game that you have to think very hard about at all times, which is Helldivers 2.
Oh, God.
This game is so much harder than it looks in the videos. It's very difficult to succeed in Helldivers 2. Maybe I'm just bad at it, but I think it is a monumental challenge, and it is a feat anytime we make it out alive from any
There's
level.
lots of explosions.
There's a lot of explosions.
Our missions either go flawlessly or dead. We're all dead.
Yeah, and it's got that friend slop energy to it, where it's an anecdote generator. You get funny stories, that the missions go off the rails. You have to flank around to save your friends, and it all comes down to one clinch moment at the end. I mean, it's everything people talked about last year. I just, we didn't get around to it until more recently.
Yeah.
And I really like the use of the unique mechanics and how they all overlap with each other. Some of them you can tell are just insane for the purpose of fucking you up, like the aiming not making any sense in first person, or
oh god,
having to do like the DDR puzzles to call in your skill streaks and like all that kind of stuff. It's and like having to reload tactically so you don't waste bullets. There's a lot of things in here that other games just simply don't have, and are things that I haven't seen at all or haven't seen recently in a game like this. So it's very unlike anything else. It's EDF meets AAA PlayStation like budget, and it shows, and I really like it.
Yeah, EDF is like absolutely ridiculous off the rails and doesn't look like it's fun to play. This actually looks like it's fun to play, and you know what? It is.
It's also really scary. It is really terrifying
scary
to live on these planets for the brief time that you are.
You get like fucked up. You get cornered with like giant like bugs and beetles and shooting acid at you. It's like you're done. You're dead. You just respawn in and you're as like another soldier that's having a great time. That's all you do. You just have great times intermixed between the horrors of war.
Yep, and I like the tone and the humor of it as well. It adds a lot. It's cute. I really like Helldivers. It's not a game that I ever want to get good at, but I'd like to put some more time into it.
Yes, I agree.
We'll
hop on that again soon.
Yeah, we should do it like a weekend where we just blaze through like one run of all these games we said we're gonna get back to and see which one sticks.
We gotta finish Night Rain first.
Yeah, I know.
I'm having a great time at Night Rain.
Yeah, me too. Tell me your number 4, the J-Man.
My number four. Actually, a game that came out in this decade. Black Myth Wukong is my number 4.
Ew, stinky.
Let's ignore that weird controversy that the company went through, which was really, honestly, kind of a nothing burger. It was just kind of weird. It's a good game.
What is it? Because I never really cared enough to look into it. It's not Souls. It is Souls.
It is. I would not say it's Souls. It is like Souls if you are. I would say Black Myth Wukong is a Souls game if you're totally robbed of any other word to describe it as. It's kind of in a way. Have you ever played any of the Neo games? You ever play any of the Team Ninja games?
A couple, yeah. Not Neo, but I played Team Ninja games before.
It's kind of like Team Ninja. Is how I would say it. Whereas Souls doesn't really have many mechanics at play. Souls is actually pretty direct. I think most people can play a Souls game with just their character and a weapon and get through the entire game no problem. Black Myth Wukong, on the inverse, however, has RPG stats like equipment and stuff like that all do different things, and it has a variety of those stats of being on the lower end. They have like plus 10% fire damage resistance. On the other end, it's like every time you sip your healing gourd, you like do an explosion. So it ranges from like fake RPG mechanics such as God of War and God of War 4 and God of War Ragnarok, fake RPG mechanics, and then real RPG mechanics like every other good RPG game. And then there's skill trees for your move set. So there's like almost like Devil May Cry-esque move set and investment into your move set to do more things. So imagine Devil May Cry, but instead of a beat 'em up where you want to hit first and juggle the opponents, you have Dante's move set, but you also want to dodge around and guard like Dark Souls. Does that make any sense?
It does. It sounds strange, though, so give me a bit more.
Okay, there's a lot of things to play with. Think about Dark Souls. Dodge an R1. That's Dark Souls. That's like almost every Dark Souls game. Elden Ring is the only game where you probably should do more than dodge an R1. Right?
Right.
Black Myth Wukong, you have dodge, and you have square, which is your attack. You also... These are all things you unlock very early in the game, all at once, and it's very overwhelming, and you go, what the fuck is going on? You have a dodge. If you dodge at the last possible second, you do a perfect dodge, you leave an after image of yourself, and you gain power in your meter. You have a meter. Fill up the bars of your meter, you can do your super attacks. Your super attacks are different depending on what stance you're in. You got 3 stances. They fight different, but they also do a different special attack, varying from hit really hard to put your pole in the ground and shoot yourself up and stay in the air away from combat enemies and take a sip from your gourd and then attack really hard. So those are your 3 stances. You can level those up to do a bunch of different things throughout the game. Okay? You got that?
Yep.
So that's also what you can do. You can transform. There's a bunch of transformations in the beginning of the game. You're only going to have like one, and you can literally just transform into a different enemy. And most of them usually being boss enemies, and just go ham on the opponent with different elements. And they have all different movesets. So you can transform into like this like dog wolf creature who has like a twin blade that has fire, and you shoot fire everywhere, and you do all these like crazy dodges. And you just play as basically a different character for a little bit of time. There is a ridiculous amount of transformations. Then there is these small transformations, which are kind of just like the bonus moves you can do, where you kind of summon like a creature, a spirit, in essence, basically. You summon like the spirit of a creature you fought, and it does like a move for you, ranging from like a buff to like a real attack. So you have that. You have both the transformation and the spirit available at once. So you can pick 2 different things, right? This is on top of the meter and the stances and the perfect dodge. There is a special item you can equip. Every time you beat one of the main bosses, you get an item ranging from a thing that, like, I don't know, blows up and makes you resistant to, like, totally resistant to fire damage for a while. You have an item that attacks enemies automatically for a while. Completely different cooldown, completely different item slot. You just have that shit, right? So that is your kit at a glance. And then you can upgrade all of these things individually. I had a build going where I had a bunch of armor on me, where every time I did I upgraded my dodging. This wasn't even a part of my armor. I went to my skills and I upgraded all my dodging so that every time I dodged, my after image would explode and do a small amount of damage. So I had a really, really good dodge. I was very apt and adept, you would say. And I really liked smash stance because it did a lot of damage. Okay?
I'm
Does that make
following.
sense? You can also... That's where I spec'd in. There is a bunch of different trees to go down. You can upgrade every stance individually. You can upgrade... Oh, I forgot to mention you have spells. You have a bunch of different spells to cast. The first one you get, you basically freeze the enemy in place for a little bit of time. That's really good. You have spells where one of the spells is the transformation. One of the spells is you turning into a rock for a small amount of time, and you can parry the enemy. If you turn into a rock as the enemy hits you, it counts as like a special unique parry. There's a spell where you can turn into wind and you're invisible and the enemy can't attack you because you're invisible. So you can heal, and then you can also hit attack and then jump out of the wind and hit the enemy for a sneak attack. There's another one. There's an ability called like seal or some shit like that, where you remove all your magical abilities, but you buff yourself with physical power by like 5-fold, but you're sealed off from all magic. That's something you can do. There's the gourds. The gourds, all do different things. The gourds are like your flask. Imagine your Dark Souls flask, but there's probably 20 of them, and they all do different things, and they all have different amount of charges, and they give you different bonuses when you sip them. All your armor does different things. When you put on a full set of them, they have a set bonus that may or may not be good. You can upgrade all these armors, and sometimes they look different, and sometimes they get upgraded abilities. On top of that, you can upgrade your pole into different trees. There's crafting. Every time you kill an enemy, there's like crafting shit and crafting materials that you can find. Oh man. There's 5 different worlds. So that's what you can do. Does that make sense?
It's a lot. It's like a lot.
It's a lot. It's very overwhelming. When you first play it, you're like, oh my god, there's so much shit that I gotta take care of, and the only thing I can fathom right now is just dodge and square. But then you kind of figure out, you kind of do things like a bit at a time, and you're like, oh, I get it. Like this is really cool. And then you are put in these worlds. You basically get these 5 or maybe it's 6 levels, and they're pretty open-ended levels. Imagine imagine Dark Souls being 5 big maps separated by like a loading screen. That's what these levels are. You explore just like a classic Souls game, wander around, and fight enemies and fight bosses. This game has a ridiculous amount of bosses. There was a claim that Black Myth Wukong had like over 100 unique bosses, and I was like, that's bullshit. It's true. That's actually a true thing.
Are they good?
Yeah, they're good. They're reskins, and I think very little of them are reskins. There's so many just random, unique ass boss fights that clearly a lot of time and money were put into them, making like them unique. And you probably won't like run in and just get like just destroyed instantly. You probably will have to try them a couple times depending on how you play. And the checkpoints are very forgiving. Dying really doesn't have any punishment at all, which I really like. You can change your build literally whenever you want. Just just refund all your skill points like instantly.
I like that.
Yeah, it's great. So it kind of values experimentation, although you may not really even need it. But there's so much variety. There's so many enemies. And so many bosses that it kind of puts FromSoft to shame. That there's so many flashy, well-designed, fun boss battles that just kind of show up. You like go down a certain path, and there it is. And you fight it once, and you never see it again. And it's just like a cool boss, just for funnies. And yeah, there's just so much shit. And it really is, it's very impressive what they did. I think they did a really, really good job. It's tough to get into at first because there's just so much shit and you just don't really know like the verbiage for things like resolute strike. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Like that's like learning what things are is very important, and you will probably be a little frustrated at first, but once you really get into it, you're like, oh, okay, word. Like I know exactly what I'm doing. Like the beginning is pretty simple and you probably won't have any tough time. The second world is where I started to be like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I got through the third world, I pushed through, and then the third world is where I was like, everything clicked and I was like, okay, I'm here and I'm ready. And it's also really long. It took me a really long time, and I got the true ending and everything. You are going to work hard to get these things, but it's also not like fucking impossible. It's not like you're fighting it's not like Millennia, like tier boss fights on every boss fight. Like they're challenging, and some of them, it's one of those games where you'll be fighting against a boss sometimes. Like I very rarely I had a boss fight where it's just like, I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like everything I do just doesn't work. And then you just do it one more time, and you just unlock your chi, and everything is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see the code.
Yeah, and in a way, this game is, Black Myth Wukong is a rendition of Journey of the West. Sun Wukong, all that shit. Yeah. Obviously, Goku. I wrote in my review, I was like, damn. I just went on the journey to the West. Like, you really feel like you went on this quest. You stayed on the path to enlightenment, and you got better, and you saw the light. You started out, and you're like, fuck, I don't know, man. This game is really weird. I'm having trouble. I'm not seeing it. And you stay the path, and your third eye opens, and you achieve enlightenment, just like our boy Wukong over here. That's what I felt like when I played this game. It's very impressive what they did with this game.
Did you remember that there's a sequel that's already been announced and like shown for this game?
No, I'm looking at it right now though.
Yeah,
Black Myth Zong Kui.
Yeah,
I actually had no idea.
I thought that was an AI generated trailer or something because I didn't think they would be able to do it so fast, and I completely forgot that it was announced.
Huh. Let me see. Huh.
No, it's real. Yeah.
Honestly, I will cop. This was a really good game, and I really liked the story. I really liked all the stuff with Wukong, and I really liked the Journey to the West stuff. I liked it. I loved it. I thought it was really, really good. I was genuinely impressed. I kind of thought it was gonna be, like soul slop in a way, but it just looks so good, and the trailer was so good. Remember that trailer from the Game Awards like a couple years ago?
I gotta say that I actually think this game looked really bad in trailers.
Oh man,
I don't know. Like, I think they need to hire you because you telling me about how this game works actually makes it sound like a really interesting system that I want to try out. Because before this, I just thought it was like Biomutant level. Like, it looked schnasty to me.
I just tried to remember everything that I could think of. That's all I did. Mm-hmm. Because I missed like a lot of things.
But they didn't do a very good job at explaining what made this game unique and different in their trailers. It just kind of looked like they were trying to ape Souls and weren't doing it very well. So
they don't do a good job explaining what makes this game unique when you first play it either. Yeah. But you figure it out. You figure it out, man. It's I mean, you can probably, I would say for you, probably wait for a sale. I think you'll really like it. For you specifically, the story is kind of like out of this fucking world. If you don't know anything about Journey to the West, you're gonna be like, you're not gonna know what the fuck is going on. But that's fine. It's like, Journey to the West. It's like they don't really have to explain anything to you because it's like such a well-known story. You can just look it up. It's like if they made it, you don't need to be taught what Jesus is. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, I can just find that information anywhere. The story probably won't grip you as well, but it is a visual treat. Visually, this game is gorgeous. And the way they designed the architecture of these areas, a lot of these areas are based on real places in real life China. And there's a bunch of stuff with like, real life, like Chinese cosmology and stuff like that is in this game. And I think you'll really like it. I think you'll really like it visually, at the very least.
Cool. I didn't know you liked this.
I think if you're gonna fucking play Stranger of Paradise, you could try this. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I had no idea that you love this game so much. That's really cool.
I didn't know either. I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, this game is actually really good. They pulled out all the stops. Cool. Game
that you will really fuck with that is not from this decade, that is my number 4, is Silent Hill 1.
Real.
This is the best Silent Hill game, and it's not even close. It has the best puzzles, it has the best map, it has the scariest enemies, it has bizarro characters that I love to death, and it's a shame that there's no real modern way to play this game, because it is something else. It's the only horror game I've ever played that I wasn't even really scared while I was playing it. I was just so in it. I was so immersed in this world that I kind of believed it was real for a little bit, despite it looking so chunky and pixelated. That's
crazy. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's so funny considering the warbling textures at all time. I love the PS1 warbling.
Yeah, me too. I really like it. It feels old, but it also doesn't feel that clunky, all things considered. Like, yes, you have to use tank controls. That's your only option. But, you can get used to it pretty easily. And they designed the game around it, so it's not like you're going to be dying unfairly all the time. The story is, it is what it is, but just this experience of finding your way into Silent Hill, going through these puzzles, ending up in the other world, seeing these unspeakable horrors, and then the few choices that you do get to make that affect your ending being pretty substantial and well thought out. It's like, where did these lessons go whenever they made Silent Hill 2 and 3 and 4? Like, it is unlike those games in almost every way, in a way that I really appreciate. It's so much more pared down and simple, but in a way that lets you fully engage with every single thing this game has to offer. And I can't recommend it enough to anyone who's into survival horror. I wouldn't say that everyone should play this game because it is, like, old, hard to play, and kind of annoying. But if you can appreciate it for what it is in the time that it came out, it's like, this game needs to be in museums. I guess that's not a big surprise to people who have been fans for a long time, but as a new fan of Silent Hill, I can't believe that this is my favorite one.
One day, hopefully, Congress will open up, what is it? The Library of Congress for video games. Actually, I think they do that, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man. Silent Hill needs...
Mm-hmm. The GOG preservation program that they brought Silent Hill 4 back to life, they need to do Silent Hill 1. Because I actually...
Crazy that they fucking did Silent Hill 4.
I know.
It's like the funniest thing ever.
I ended up... I emulated it, allegedly. And I ended up playing with mostly stock settings. So it's as if I was playing it on a PS1. But I did unlock the frame rate. So it was a little easier on the eyes. And I did mess around. I didn't end up keeping it. But I messed around with, like, up-resing it to 4K and, like, flattening out the textures, and it does lose the old school frightening nature of the sprites that you can't really tell what it's supposed to be, and that's what makes it scary. So I would not recommend playing like a upgraded version of the game, TBH. I think it's better in its original form.
Could not even pay me to upgrade the graphics.
Yeah, I mean, there are some mods that are worthwhile, like the FPS unlock, and there's one that makes the snow more, because this is like the snowy Silent Hill game, which is another thing that I kind of wish they kept for the rest of them. It adds a lot to the vibe. You can make it so it's a lot more snowy, and it feels a lot more immersive that way. But other than that, it's just solid the way it is. And the other worlds in this game are, like, you see a bit of it in Silent Hill 3. Like, they 3 leans into 1's version of the other world, but it's unlike anything else. It's frightening. You're over a bottomless pit at all times. It's just filled with rust and fire and demons, and it really feels like it comes alive. It's magical.
You should play Shattered Memories. I'm so interested in Snowy.
Is that the remake of 1, or is that a separate one?
There's no remake.
Well, there's like the Wii one that's like, sort of a remake.
That's the Wii one. It is a intense reimagining. Very intense reimagining. I dare to say the only thing similar is the names.
I see. Okay.
So you might have to hop that. People really like that one. It looks pretty fun.
Maybe
I mean, gameplay wise, I don't know, but I mean, the story is actually pretty good.
Yeah, so Silent Hill 1, big recommend. Jonathan, what's your number 3?
Is actually really funny. Silent Hill 2. It's my number 3.
Whoa.
It's good. It's the most faithful adaptation I think you could have made of a Silent Hill game. Whenever you make an adaptation or a remake, it's like, how are you going to transcribe the feelings, the aesthetic, the feel, like the actual literal physical feel of this to a new audience? And Bloober Team figured it out. God damn it. And they did it. And I will not harp on it long because we did talk about Silent Hill 2 for a lot in another episode. But yeah, Silent Hill 2. God damn. they struck lightning with that one, and hopefully they'll keep it going for Silent Hill 1 remake.
Still pisses me off that it's so good.
So good. I replayed it with my girlfriend. I went, damn, it's so good. And then I was looking at pictures of it the other day, and I went, damn, I wish I was playing it again. It's just so, it got it. It's got it all.
It does. The Silent Hill 1 remake is now one of my most anticipated games. I can't wait for that.
I really can't wait to see Harry. I want to see Harry so bad.
Who do you think they're going to get to play him? Probably some we haven't heard of.
I have no idea. I hope some rando. Matthew Mercer. Who's the other guy? I forgot his name.
Troy
Pushed that
Baker.
out of my mind. Troy Baker. Dude, that's actually, like, not off the realm of reality.
Yeah.
Who was it? Troy Baker was him in the redub, right? In 2?
James, you mean? Yeah.
James. Yeah, he's James in the redub. Yeah. He better not be.
So my number 3 is interesting because I don't really have a lot to say about it. And I kind of am embarrassed to have it at my number 3 because it's Dark Souls 3. Like, it's just a regular Souls game. It's not better than Dark Souls 2.
Really linear, though?
What's that?
Have you noticed that? Did you notice that it's, like, super linear?
Yeah. It's super linear, but it's also still incredibly hard to find where you need to go next.
True.
It's just a solid Souls experience that I don't like as much as Dark Souls 2 or Elden Ring. I like it better than Dark Souls 1. I don't think the maps are really that much... they're not as impressive as the other games. They're just kind of, like you said, linear, and a lot of them are just corridors. And I didn't love all of the bosses, but most of the bosses are pretty solid. And if they showed up in Night Rain, I wouldn't be upset about it. I would be completely fine to go through and play this game from start to finish again and collect all the items again, just like I did the first time through. And, you know, I played the entire thing in co-op, which I think adds and takes away from it. It made it a lot easier to digest because I never really got lost, but the co-op is actually really good. It doesn't feel overpowered, at least on your first playthrough, if you're both coming in as new characters. And besides the fact that we had to do everything twice, it was well implemented enough to make it feel like you could have played the whole game in co-op and that wouldn't be weird. Some of the other Souls games, it does feel very strange.
Is it, like, impossible if you don't have... Well, before they had they didn't have the password system.
Yeah.
Put a password in it. Yeah.
I don't know if they did or didn't. I don't really remember. I think they did, but I know that we got invaded all the time. But
well, that doesn't protect you from invaders.
Okay,
it just lets your summon sign show up, like, for the other person immediately.
Okay.
In older Souls games, I remember trying to do co-op. Dude, I'm, like, remembering it right now. This is crazy. I remember trying to do co-op Dark Souls 2, like, Xbox 360, like the launch edition, and when they didn't have any password system, where you just find your friend instantly, and you just have to both be unhollowed, and both be in the same area, and around the same level, and hope that your summon sign would show up. Sometimes it just wouldn't show up, and there would just be, like, forums being like, and there's just nothing you can do. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things where a bad Dark Souls game is still better than most action games. I had a really good time with it, but nothing really stood out. Like, nothing was super memorable other than the fact that I just really enjoyed my time with it.
It is also, it's very short. Like, it's noticeably short. And when that game came out, I was a fiend. It also provides very little resistance when you play it. So I remember that summer, I was just almost playing, like, a whole playthrough a day. Just start a new character. Just, like, try something else. Like, basically plow through the game in, like, a whole day.
It's awesome.
Meanwhile, Dark Souls 2, it's like, damn. I played
20
hours. I just got the first Lord Soul or whatever. King Soul or whatever. The Primal Bonfire.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't remember.
That's my number 3. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is a game I actually don't even really think I've discussed on the podcast at all yet. It's Lisa the Painful. Replayed that for the first time in a couple of years on Switch. And by George, it's the same game I played over a decade ago. I love Lisa the Painful. I don't think I've ever spoken about it on the podcast now that I'm thinking about it.
I mean, you've talked
Have
about
I?
Lisa the Painful a lot, but not this most recent playthrough. Is this
GOTY.
Did you play the definitive edition? Is that the only one that's on Switch?
Yeah, that's the only one on Switch. And it's also the only one on Steam. It auto-updated, so that you got the definitive edition. I mean, it's fine. It's good. It only adds things. It only altered like a couple of things that I think are just really just menial, so you don't even have to worry about it.
Okay, so what would you take out of it on this playthrough that you didn't before?
I took out that I was right 10 years ago. This is my first, the first time I ever reviewed a video game was this game, and it's still on my Steam profile. I wish I could delete it, but there's no way to delete reviews on your Steam profile for some ungodly reason, so I can't even do it to private. It's friends only, so it's just there forever. I could have put some horrid shit up there and have been fucked. So, don't know why you can't delete a review. Really, really bizarre. But, that is on my profile. I reviewed it when I was 14 on July 12th, 2015. And I gave it a, let me see here. Give it a 9 out of 10, parentheses, maybe a 10 out of 10. And all the things I say in this review, I still agree. And there's a lot of spelling mistakes.
Give us some highlights. Give us some highlights.
I wrote kidnap with 2 D's. Kiddnapped.
It looks right, right?
Isn't. No, it doesn't even look right. I don't even know how I did this. Severely is spelt wrong. Characters is spelt wrong. Characters is how I spelt it. Let me see here. Any other horrible spelling mistakes?
So what did you...
No,
what are some of the things
good.
you talked about in that review that still stand strong?
I can't even fucking look at it. But I remember
don't
it.
look at it then. Just tell me what do you think about the game and how have you developed more of an appreciation for it over 10 years?
Well, it's just a goddamn good game. It has 2 things that I really like. It has, as I spoke again with Look Outside, it has real gameplay, and then it has also a really good story that is both very tragic and extremely funny at the same time. Main story, tragic. Everything else that happens, very funny. So tonally, it's like perfect. I said this when I was talking about Look Outside, but Lisa the Painful has some of the funniest things that I've seen in video games. Not even like necessarily like laugh out loud funny, but just like, goddamn, that was good. I wish I could see that again. And then you look at a video and you find it online, and like some guy had the same thought and posted it just for your entertainment. The gameplay I really like because it has one of my favorite aspects of video games, and it's variety and experimentation. Lisa the Painful has like, I think 30 party members that you can find throughout the game. All of them are totally different, have totally different skills, different attacks, need different equipment. You know, they're in like subgroups with the equipment, so you don't have to like get new equipment for every single one of the characters, but all the characters have completely different skills, different aesthetics, visuals, and everything, personalities, and shit like that. And they're all, most of them are actually, all of them are actually very, very funny. I really liked Shock Lord. Shock Lord is kind of like a gimmick character. He's based on Shock Master, which was a old wrestler who was like, he wore like a spray painted like purple stormtrooper helmet, and on one of his like debut fights, he fucking tripped on his entrance. He was supposed to burst through like a wall, and pyrotechnics were supposed to like go off, and he was supposed to burst out with his helmet on. And like in his first entrance, he tripped and he like fell through the wall, and his helmet fell off, and it was really embarrassing, and that defined the rest of his career, unfortunately. And they put Shock Lord in the game, and the only thing he does, first of all, you recruit him by doing a small side quest where you enroll yourself into the remnants of the World Wrestling Federation, and he's your tag team partner, and he trips on his pyrotechnics on every entrance, and his only attack, the only thing he can do, he doesn't even have a regular attack. He doesn't have any special skills. The only thing he can do is Big Shock, and all it does moderate lightning or fire damage or some shit like that to every enemy on screen, and all it does, the animation plays where he walks out, trips, falls, and lightning goes everywhere, and that's like a whole character.
It's incredible.
Now imagine that 30 times. I can explain every character 30 times in that fashion.
Cool.
It's awesome. It's good shit. And it's been out for over a decade. Everyone jump on that shit now. Now.
This is one of those gaming sins of mine. I bought Lisa many years ago and started it and just completely fell off of it, but I've always wanted to play it. And I just haven't.
Oh, it's a must-play indie. And it's actually pretty mainstream, too. It's not even like, niche anymore. It's like, it is a mainstream indie. This is one of the greats. 100%.
Yeah, I'll have to get to it at some point.
It's really good. Really good. And it's so goddamn funny. I think it's so funny.
All right. Was that number 2, right?
That was number 2.
Okay. My number 2. Okay, this is actually kind of freaking me out. My number 3 was Dark Souls 3. My number 2 is Metroid Prime 2.
Whoa.
So, and then my number 3 on the other list was Expedition 33. Something's going on here.
Dude, Half-Life.
Bro.
Soon. Half-Life soon.
Half-Life soon. Half-Life tomorrow. So,
I don't know about that.
Prime 2 is my favorite of the Prime games. It's the best Metroidvania I've ever played, with one exception. And it's kind of bad, but in a good way.
Okay, I can vibe.
So it's certainly the black sheep of the original Prime trilogy in that it really doesn't follow a lot of the conventions of an interconnected Metroid map. So there's the light world and the dark world, which everyone knows about. And while you're in the dark world, you take damage at all times. If you're in, there's no oxygen, essentially. You're always getting damaged in the dark world unless you make your way to a light source, and then you can hang out there for a little bit. And so, the first half of the game is essentially you're going through these huge zones, solving puzzles, until you figure out, oh, I need to go into the dark world. Ugh. So you go into the dark world, and in there, it's like a fucked up version of the zone that you just cleared out. It's a lot more limited. It's not as open. And you're taking damage the entire time you're there, so you have to be quick and solve specific puzzles that will unlock things in the light world. And the further you get into it, the more you realize that the dark world is actually the game, and that the light world is kind of all set up for making your next steps in the dark world. And that revelation is really cool. Everything in this game kind of abides by that mentality, where you're setting up things with the light side of things to pay off in the dark side of things. So, for example, rather than the heat wave and the ice beam, you have the light wave or the light beam and the dark beam. And the only way to get ammo for the dark beam is to kill things with the light beam, and then vice versa. Some enemies are weak to light, some enemies are weak to dark. But the way you engage with Prime is that you don't really have to aim, you just kind of lock on. So it becomes this puzzle of okay, this part of the enemy is weak to dark, but I can't get to that part of the enemy until I destroy another part of it, which is weak to light. So you're constantly bouncing back and forth between these things. And it's kind of a different moment-to-moment gameplay system than any of the other games. It was something I was hoping we would see in Prime 4 return, but it sadly did not. The other thing is that it is paced so well that you always feel like you're getting substantial upgrades that will let you backtrack and unlock so much stuff throughout the light and dark world, not the least of which is the screw attack. In first person, they give you the screw attack.
Oh, man.
The Mad Lads. And it is unlike any mechanic I've ever seen in a first-person game. So, if you jump, and then double jump, and then mash the jump button, then you enter screw attack, where instead of it being 2D Metroid screw attack where you go straight up, it sends you very far horizontally. Okay. And you can space jump the screw attack, so you basically just have infinite jumps horizontally. So you can use it to cross giant gaps and skip parts of levels that before would have taken you so long to cross. And you can also kill enemies with it. So once you unlock screw attack, it basically changes the entire game, which up until this point felt like you had to go through these small areas in a huge map. Now it's you can cross the map instantly and be anywhere you want at any time to solve puzzles. It's very, very satisfying. It also has the best story out of the trilogy. There's a lot that you'll get out of it if you take the time to scan and read all the lore. In my opinion, it's the most interesting, because it deals a lot with like two races that are still alive, unlike Prime 1, which is like the Chozo, and then Prime 3, which kind of all happens out, and it's more Halo-y in Prime 3, but it's kind of like Souls style. You uncover the story that's already happened type deal.
Yeah, I do like that.
And the final scavenger hunt in Prime 1 is one of my least favorite things in the game. Prime 2 completely solved that by letting you start it much earlier, and it's much smaller. And they give you really good hints. It's not like, you know, Miles McKenzie, Prime 4, hey, did you try using the ice beam on this door? It's like, you'll walk past a lake, and this is at a point in the game where you can't go into the lake, but you see that there's like this one island out there, and you try everything you can to get to it, and you just can't. So whenever you can get to the island later, either by using the screw attack, or like if you spider ball over there or something, when you get over there, you can see down into the water and see that there's something hidden there, and you commit that to memory. Then later when you come there, you unlock something, say a missile upgrade or something like that. But then if you take it one step further, and say you go into the Dark World to see what is reflected there, now you've unlocked a secret area that has enemies that you've never seen before, that you have to take out in a very specific way to get an item that you need to finish the game. And it rewards exploration better than most games I've played. I know a lot of people don't like Prime 2 as much because of the tedium, but I found it very satisfying. Final note.
Well, you can say that for any fucking Metroid game, apparently. Every Metroid game, there's like, oh, I didn't really like that one.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's all up to personal taste, but I've seen a lot of people kind of rally around Prime 2 lately as saying it got kind of a raw deal, which I agree with. The boss fights, incredibly difficult. The hardest boss fights I've ever had in a Nintendo game. It is sometimes unfair, but always fun, and that's what I'll leave it as. I can't recommend this one enough, but you probably should play Prime 1 first.
Which one has Nightmare in it? 2 or 3?
Nightmare being... I don't really remember what that is.
The one with the scary melting green face.
Hang on. That might be this one. I don't think it's this one, but hang on. I'm looking at it. I can't find anything online. Are you sure you didn't make this up?
What? Oh, it's in Other M.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nightmare.
That would be why I haven't seen it.
What'd you look up?
I looked up Nightmare Metroid Prime, and like nothing came up.
Oh, no. No, he's in Other M.
Okay.
I didn't realize.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know this guy. Okay. So yeah, Prime 2, really good. Also not on Switch, so kind of expensive and hard to come by, but hopefully they'll add it to NSO at some point.
Not unless you bought the Metroid Prime collection on Wii U. Before it went down.
That's another note that I probably should bring up. You have to use the fucked up GameCube controls. There's no other options, because I didn't play it on the Prime trilogy. However, I actually really prefer the fucked up Prime controls to the Wii Remote controls. I think it's very easy to get used to the weird controls, and it's much more accurate than using the Wii Remote.
Did you aim with the left stick and walk with the...
No, you walk forward and backward with the left stick, and you look left and right with the left stick. But you move side to side by strafing with a separate button.
Oh, that's wild.
And then I forget how you look up and down. I think maybe you have to hold another button.
Well,
so
that's wild.
That's my Prime 2 review. I really liked it, in case you couldn't tell.
Yes.
What is your...
Yeah, I got the gist.
What is your number 1?
My number 1. This is for the drum roll. It's Darkest Dungeon. I finally beat it.
You finally beat it?
This year. Yeah.
Congrats.
This is a hard game. This is like one of the hardest games I've played in my life.
That's I never thought you would do it.
Darkest Dungeon, yeah. I mean, it took a long time. A lot of grinding. 3 playthroughs later, finally, I sat down, I said, I'm a big boy, I can do it. And I fucking did. I can't believe it. Not only did I beat it, I beat every boss. Every boss I can do. I did every task on the list. I did everything I could do. I am the champion.
And
I even maxed out every district and building. I did it all.
And do you feel accomplished? And is this sense of it being a really good game, is it really good towards the end, or is it just really hard?
Oh man, both. It's both. sometimes you'll be like, I'm so fucked. Like, this game is so unfair. And then sometimes you'll be like, I'm the master strategist. The game will fuck you over. I mean, it's a dungeon crawler. First of all, it really helps that no other game plays like Darkest Dungeon. You know, roster management, like city builder, and then it's like a dungeon crawler, and then a turn-based RPG strategy game. No game plays like it. And then the gameplay, the actual combat is really good, very impactful, very stressful, but also extremely rewarding. Depending on who you bring into the dungeon, if you bring in, you know, it like makes sense. If you bring in like a shitty guy with like all these phobias and issues and negative quirks, he's probably gonna perform shitty. If you invest in someone, make them really good, give them good trinkets, give them good quirks, give them like some good bonuses, guess what? They perform good. So you kind of have to realize that in a way. Sometimes you just have to work with what you're given to and let people die. It says it in the beginning of the game. Darkest Dungeon is about making the best of a bad scenario. The game autosaves every single thing you do. You will rage. You will probably quit at a certain point. But the game is a masterpiece. Gameplay-wise, visually, audio. It is like a real artisan craft, I would say. I mean, just look at the visuals. Has such a striking style with the dark shadows, the crown of madness motif everywhere. The RPG mechanics are very intelligent, very well thought out. Everything is very deliberate and placed with a purpose for this game, 100%.
Cool. I mean, I know you've been a fan of it forever, so now that you've finally seen everything it has to offer, I'm glad it still holds up.
Yeah, now I have to try 2, which people are very upset about.
Yeah, you were telling me about that on another episode.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. I think I've spoken about it in another episode, so if you want to hear more thoughts, it's in another episode. Maybe one day I'll stream it if I ever stream it.
So if you had to pit your backlog game of the year versus your 2025 game of the year, to find your ultimate game from 2025, you picking Darkest Dungeon or Look Outside?
Oh, man. That's a good question. Darkest Dungeon might be an all-timer. Look Outside is also pretty phenomenal, but I don't really know. It's how good its staying power is going to be. Especially Darkest Dungeon with like the mod support and the community behind it. It's wild. Right now, I'll have to say Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon, I know, is an all-timer. Like, absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Look Outside is close.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's an all-timer yet. We'll have to find out.
Your opinion may change one day, but for now, this is your truth.
I don't even know if Balapcho is an all-timer. You know?
Yeah, it is.
Time will tell. We don't know. He might ruin it. He might, like, drop an update.
Yeah, Battle Pass and the Look Outside Battle Pass.
Yeah, Look Outside Battle.
Okay. So my number one, which I'm asking myself the same question. I'm gonna say this is probably my game of the year overall, but also my number one from the backlog is gonna be Symphony of the Night. Which
I didn't even know you played that.
Yeah, I played it earlier this year, and I mean, who would have thought that the game that everyone always talks about as being like one of the best games of all time is one of the best games of all time. I'm not a Castlevania person. This is the only one I've ever played. I'm not even that big of a Metroidvania person. I'm getting more accustomed to the genre, and I know this one is sort of one of the first big search action kind of games, and it changed up the formula for Castlevania a bit. But it's just good. It's like I've never been immersed and locked into a flow state in a 2D game more than this. It takes like 1 second of trying out a new weapon to completely understand it and feel like you're locked in and you are in the flow state and you can do anything. And that's every single part of this game. Everything you try out, I took so well to it. There's insane weapon variety and enemy variety as well. So you're always trying new things, doing unique abilities. You're exploring this castle. I kind of think the inverted castle thing is a bit gimmicky, and I didn't really love it that much.
Yeah, I heard that.
But it didn't really take away from the game. Like, it was unique enough that it felt like I was exploring a new map. I kind of wish they leaned into it a bit more in that, because I did the right side up castle, I'd be able to tell like hints and secrets about the inverted castle, but really it was just like they put you into a second map with kind of bad platforming. But everything else about the game was impeccable. All of the boss fights were really fun. Probably some of the best 2D boss fights I've ever played. The map was very, very well laid out and fun to explore. It had good use of fast travel, so I had to explore a lot, but I also could get where I wanted in a relatively short amount of time. And then, I mean, come on, the pixel art and animations, it's an all-timer.
What version did you play?
I played the PS4 version,
okay.
the newer version, which does up-res some stuff. It also adds sounds coming out of the controller, which I didn't love.
Right.
But everything else was about the same as the original. And I just felt alive.
They changed the voice acting though, didn't they? There's no they have like the new voice actors, which is one of them is the dude who voices Robin in Fire Emblem.
Oh, to be honest,
he voices Richter.
I kind of just played this on a whim. I didn't really do any research beforehand. I already had it, so I wasn't like gonna find the best version to play or anything, so I really don't know. I know.
Oh, no. It just doesn't have the... I'm sure you would have known. Did it have, like, the die, monster, you don't belong in this world, like, speech? Do you know about that?
Yeah, and it does have all that, but it may have been revoiced. I'm not sure. But I don't have much of a frame of reference for any of the other stuff to compare it to the original, but I just... As a game, it is so masterfully made. And you haven't played it, is that right?
No, I played every Castlevania game before that, and then I've also played I played the other Symphony of the Night likes. So I played the ones on DS, which were Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. And then I also I haven't played this one yet, but there's Aria of Sorrow.
The GBA.
Which is the GBA one. And then there's another one on GBA, which is like Circle of the Moon or something like that. I have not played the GBA ones, but I played the 3DS ones. And, I mean, I love Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you know the formula, of course. Anyone who's played Metroidvania since this one came out probably understands the formula. But they really do. They execute on it so well. The upgrades that you get are zany and, like, really change up how you approach puzzles and combat. Story is fun. Voice acting is fun. But really, it's just a flow state machine. It makes you feel
flow state.
Like you master every element of this game by the time you finish it. And I could go back and play it now and probably knock it out in like I don't know how many hours, but you know, I could just run through it and not really get stopped by anything.
It's also got the Alucard is like the most rizzed man ever in this installment. He looks so good.
He does.
Top 10 character designs of all time. Top 3 at least. Probably the best designed character ever, actually. You're preaching to the choir. I think all the characters in this game are fantastic. Friends and enemies. I mean, all the designs are so good. I'm sure a lot of them are either not reused, but, you know, they've existed before in other Castlevanias and they just kind of updated them, but everything looks so fantastic. It's the best pixel art I've ever seen, even compared to, like, those modern faux retro pixel art games that have a lot more to work with. It stands out, and even the use of 3D elements, which I normally hate in 2D games, they use it tastefully, and it works really well. So, Jonathan, you gotta get on this one. I do. I know. I'm aware. I also, this makes you feel any better, I did play Bloodstained Ritual tonight, and so I basically kind of played it. So, I mean, really, what are we... I'm already an expert. I'm fine.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that people always talk about as, you know, you gotta play this before you die. And I guess I'm one of those people now, because I just loved this game from start to finish. There was never a part that made me feel, like, bored. There's never a part that I thought was kind of whatever. It was all just great. So, that's gonna be my game of the year.
I was not expecting that, but I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, it was like there are a few games in my adult life that I can sit down and like it becomes a problem. Like I will play this instead of doing chores. I will play this instead of eating. I will play this instead of going to the bathroom. This was one of them. I played it in like 3 sessions. I could not get enough.
Have you played Rondo of Blood?
Not yet. It's in the same collection on PS4.
I played that one.
Is that one good? People have like weird things about that one, right?
I mean, it's not as good as Bloodlines, which was the Genesis one that can be found in the Castlevania collection. Bloodlines is an amazing game. No caveats. Rondo of Blood has caveats. It's good. It's a good game.
That's kind of what I would say about this one, is that it's just a good game. No caveats, nothing else to say. It's just a masterpiece.
Hope we get another Castlevania within a century.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Konami's working again, so.
Yeah, that's scary.
So that's going to be my game of the year. We have Darkest Dungeon, Symphony of the Night. And then for 2025, we had Monster Hunter Wilds and Look Outside. So overall, pretty good year in games, I would have to say.
I think so. I think we did some busy year. Lots of gaming, lots of working, lots of sitting around farting. Good year. Yeah,
this is the least amount of games I've played in a year for like ever. I think, let me see on my GG app, how many does it say I beat this year? See, this is why I love keeping track of the list. It's so fun. So for reference, in 2024, I played 38 games. In 2025, I only played 36. So I wasn't that far off, but it keeps going down every year. So these keep becoming more and more valuable. When I commit my time to something, I'm going to really like it. So,
that's sad.
Well, we're also playing more multiplayer games nowadays, so that eats into it a bit.
Most of it.
Yeah. But yeah, Jonathan, that's 2025. We're done. And now
I think we're good.
We have another year starting fresh. We're going to get a new list going. It's going to be a good time. So
I'm already starting by playing a game that came out 30 years ago with Trials of Mana.
Awesome.
Released 1995. That's the first game I started playing in the
Epic.
So I'm going to be on top of the latest releases.
I don't have any games coming out this year that I want to play, ? GTA 6, notwithstanding. So it's going to be a weird year. It's certainly going to be a weird one, but I'm going to need some suggestions of what to play. I'm kind of gameless right now. I'm playing Kingdom Come as well, but after I'm done with that, I don't know what to do. So Jonathan, you're going to have to help me pick.
I know a game.
Oh?
It's rhymes with smelly ring. Smelly ring, night rain.
Dude, you had me at smelly.
Dude.
All right, let's go play.
Let's hop off. Yeah, baby. All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great 2026, and we'll see you in a couple weeks here. Bye-bye.